Welcome back, supporter of the cause. Oh. The Rogue Room appreciates your recommendation.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome to the Rogue Room, where tonight we will be playing Raid Shadow Legends, an immersive online experience with everything you'd expect from a brand new RPG title. It's got an amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of never-before-seen champions to collect and customize. I never expected to get this level of performance out of a mobile game, but we'll be playing on PC, because you can install it on your computering device. Look how this is supposed to be an ad read, and it's supposed to show like gameplay footage, but I don't have gameplay footage to show you. So it's look at the crazy level of detail on these champions. Raid Shadow Legends is getting big real fast, so you should definitely get in early. How's it going, folks? I made this a stupid goal like couple of months ago. I think it was a couple of months ago, maybe even less than a month ago. And I realized at the time, I was just like, you know what, I don't think I'm ever going to hit a level 5 hype train. And you fucking did it, you maniacs.
The Rogue Room appreciates your recommendation.
Posture check, let's get the posture check. Welcome to the Rogue Room. Jacob Dragon Boy Kid, sit down, grab a drink and chill out with us. Do I have TikTok? I do, but I almost never use it. I'm terrible at any sort of like short form content. Really, really bad at it. I've tried. I cannot figure it out. Yeah, I'm gonna play it for real, but I'm gonna give it like maybe half an hour, and I'm not gonna play it at length. But we're gonna do our normal. Here's your finger. There you go. And also, we had a hydrate. We had a hydrate. You love the headband. Thank you. I've noticed something. And I worry about this, honestly. Oh god, I have 46 unredeemed requests. Let me just do those really quickly. Sorry, I keep forgetting to redeem requests. I have this thing with like florals, right? I never used to like florals, and now I'm like, they're really cute. I like florals. And there's a store near me that, headband. Let's do it. There's a store near me that... Hang on. Let me do the thing, because I am autistic and can't focus on more than one thing at a time. The second headband has some more emotions, true. Draco, thank you so kindly.
Florals? Only pretty people like and wear florals, LOL.
Thank you so kindly. Where did I get this from? I got this from a shop called... I think this was from H&M, actually. This was from H&M. There was a two pair. There was this one and there's a black one over there. Yeah. Girly shops. But there's a specific girly shop at the shopping center near me that is very obviously for much older women. I'm talking like grandmothers... like great-grandmothers, perhaps. Elderly women kind of store. It's an old ladies fashion store. And I kind of want to buy something from it. Like, you literally never see a younger woman in there. At all. It's the shop that if you're out with your granny, she'll stop and go, "Oh, that looks nice. Isn't that a lovely top? Look at those pants. Those are lovely pants, aren't they? Oh my goodness. Used to wear pants like those when I was a girl, I did, yes." So I kind of feel weird. It's like I like the clothes they have in there, which are primarily like floral driven. Someone better be clipping that. You have the capacity to clip. It's not like limited to a certain person. Headband is winning with 4 votes for the record. A wise friend of mine once told you that you know you're a woman when your aunt tells you that you look fat in that dress. Well, I haven't got to that point yet. Actually, the perhaps the worst thing is my family have all been judging me about how thin I am more than how fat I am, honestly. Maybe that's not a bad thing. Headband wins of headband, and headband. Headband has won. There's actually like a it's more like a bandana, really. I've got a bunch of bandanas. I've got headscarves. Headband wins. Hold on a moment. I have a sound effect for this.
Fatality.
There we go. I was kind of hoping in that Mortal Kombat trailer that Kano Because if you've seen the trailer, if you haven't seen the trailer for the new Mortal Kombat movie, please do yourself a favor and watch that shit. Holy fucking Christ.
On you. Headband wins. Fashionality.
You ripped a vocal cord. How did you manage that? Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. At any rate, if you've not watched the Mortal Kombat movie trailer, please go do yourself a favor and watch that. Yeah. He says Kano wins, you fucking beauty. It was fantastic. That whole trailer was everything I've ever wanted in a Mortal Kombat movie. And Ginger, thank you for continuing the gift sub you got from Ren Camo. Thank you so kindly. By the way, I've decided to ramp up the stakes a little bit. You know, we've been doing okay on the 25 sub increments, so I said let's boost it up. We're going to 200, motherfuckers. I don't know is there something we should go for? Some kind of goal we should shoot for if we hit 200. What do I do if I hit 200? Look at the fucking bruise, dude. I was just looking at that in the camera and I'm like, holy fuck. That looks bad. That looks super fucking bad. I dare say, like, I honestly... Actually, you know what? 200 subs. What about we do Get Ready With Me? Chat doesn't... I mean, we could do Chat Does My Makeup, honestly. No. Fortnite's already planned. If I get to partner, my partner this year, my celebration stream will be Let's Play Fortnite. Not going to happen. But that's the goal. The goal is if I get partner this year, so tell your friends, tell your family to tune into the Rogue Bitch Show. I will do for my partner celebration stream. I'll even ramp up the stakes a little bit. Let's do like a 12-hour Fortnite stream. Okay, that's a bit far. We won't do 12 hours of Fortnite. But we will do a partner celebration stream if I get there, which I'm way off. For the record. I think I'm averaging 30 viewers at the moment in my analytics. I think if I go to channel analytics, my average viewers is 30. Right? If I were to get partner this year, it would be an absolute fucking miracle. I've confirmed it. It's Rogue Bitch. It could be Rogue Butch, though. It could be Rogue Butch, though, because I lift. Is my partner as beautiful as I am? I wish I had one. Well, no, I don't. We could get into that discussion. We could get into that discussion in a moment, of course. But yeah, it does look bad because it's a bruise. But I feel like, generally... you know what you did today? You slept through 6 classes but had an amazing night's sleep. That's good. I will come around to like my discuss. And no, Hanna-Barbera, I cannot play the violin, sadly. This one, I think I made this worse when I was in the hospital, honestly. I had the opportunity to not give myself a bruise. I did. So for those of you who don't know, I went to the hospital... when was it? The kids weren't here, so it was like Monday or Tuesday night last week, I think. It was 2:30 a.m. I rushed to the hospital with all of my major chest pains, heart palpitations, and all that sort of stuff. Hey, Jordan, how's things? And they stuck a needle in me. This was the 3rd bloody one. It was like they tried my hand, they tried this arm, and they finally got this one. And they left the cannula in. And me like a dingus at like 5 o'clock in the morning sitting there in the recliners trying to get some rest. Lifted my hand up, scratched my face. And then I just dropped my arm on the fucking arm of the chair. I regretted that decision. And I think that's what's led to that being so bad. The hospitals are not in the desert, it's just down the road. I mean, there probably are hospitals in the desert. Can you marry me for the free healthcare? And if we fall in love anyway, it's a plus. Sure. Fuck needles. I agree. I have to get another one soon. Endo appointment coming up. There's all that. The whole thing. Needles. Just needles. One more time and you won't lick it again. You're proud of this. Alright, let's talk about Granny going shopping. Let's watch the clip. It's the shop that if you're out with your granny, she'll stop and go, oh, that looks nice. Isn't that a lovely top? Look at those pants. Those are lovely pants, aren't they? Oh my goodness. I can't unfollow myself. Pants like those when I was a girl. I did, yes. It's the shop that if you're out... How's my granny voice? Is my granny voice good? You should see your endo. Mine, I'm annoyed with mine. I'm annoyed with the office. That called me. They close at like midday, 12 p.m. on the days they're open. And, yeah, they call me as they're closing. They call me as they're closing and then leave the message saying, oh, your appointment next month, it needs to be rescheduled. So please call us back. And I was driving, so I didn't get the message until I had stopped and parked. And I checked my phone, it's like, and I listened to the message. It's like, I can't call you back. I can't call you back because you're closed now. When do I reschedule? And they've got really weird hours. I think they're only open like 3 or 4 days a week. In like the latter half of the week, so like Wednesday through Saturday until like noon to like they're open from like 9 or 8 a.m. till noon or something like that. It's really blah. Specialists, man, medical specialists. What a nightmare. But yeah, I'm currently like very early in my medical stuff with my transition. So doing the bloods, doing the my hormones. I was really lucky actually today. We're going to talk about the hormones thing for a sec, because that's what that's about. That's what the endocrinologist thing's about. I really lucked out because I went to the chemist and I said to them, look, I got to get this script refilled, which was my T blockers, and then I had to go and I was worried because they're getting me to reschedule this appointment that my estrogen would run out, my estradiol would run out. So I said to the chemist, like, look, my endocrinologist has bumped my appointment for the time being. I don't have a reschedule yet. Can you possibly give me another one? And they were just like, gotcha, fam. Gotcha, fam. Here's some more estradiol for you. I feel happy about that. Getting the secret trans injections. Oh, anywho. That aside, all of that nonsense aside. What's everyone else been up to today? I hope you haven't been anxious. I've been anxious. What am I, some kind of girl? The Australian accent. Mate, I could do an Aussie accent, let me tell ya. Because that's my normal accent. I'm in Australia. I've been here my whole life. It's kind of astounding, quite honestly, how many Australian accents there actually are, though. Hey, mate. I've heard so many different Australians throughout my life, and they sound distinctly different. I suppose that's really just a consequence of... And I mean, America has it. England has it. I dare say other areas that obviously don't speak English would have it as well. You're both lurking. You're leaving me with all these maniacs. How dare you? Very lovely maniacs. You're all awesome. Can I say that? Enjoy your lurk, you dickheads. I had your second shift within 8 hours and it was mostly theory for 6 hours on 4 hours sleep. Oh my goodness. You know what the thing is? You know what the thing that annoys me is I can operate on 4 hours sleep. And I can operate on 5 hours sleep and blah blah blah. The problem is not so much having one day where I sleep 4 hours. The problem is like I will get into the habit of sleeping 4 or 5 hours for weeks at a time. I will stay up for 20, 22 hours in some cases. Longer than I need to. For no good reason. I'll be up and it's like 2 a.m. and it's just like, well shit, I should go to bed now. And then I'll get myself up at 7 o'clock or earlier. And that'll be a consistent thing and I'm just like, I know I'm not getting enough sleep. Having a country built on prisons is not very good for consistency. True. True. Having a country built on white supremacy and colonialism isn't very good either, but... 'Tis what it is. Normally do 5 to 6 hours, but doing 2 doubles back to back destroyed you. Oh, it would. It would, yeah. Oh. Okie doke. Did I just describe Australia? Yes. Probably had about 9 to 10 hours sleep within the past 3 days. Oh, that's no good. That's what worries me, and honestly, if you follow me on Facebook, which you probably shouldn't, it's really disastrous.
Welcome to the Rogue Room.
Welcome to the Rogue Room. Naughty guy. 88. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. I'm sorry, those numbers have me questioning. You should get some sleep, Badger. You should. I've lived that life, honestly, where it's been like 2 or 3 days at a time. It used to be when I was a teenager. I had that particular issue especially. Whoa, white supremacy and colonialism is our thing, America. Would it not technically be England's thing? Because didn't the situation of white supremacy and colonialism originate from the UK, arguably? Why do people even redeem things before the stream starts? I don't know. What are you expecting from me? Also, can I just point out my cleavage, or lack thereof? There's a stain, like right there. It's like an oil stain or something. There's a little dot. There's a little dot on my shirt, and it's annoying the fuck out of me. I think I need to get like a some kind of a, what are they called? The thing that you buy and you put it on a shirt and it adds a pattern or adds a logo or something to it. I should get something to put on this shirt to cover that up. I don't know what it is. I genuinely have no idea what the fuck that is. And I see it every time I put this shirt on in the mirror. I'm like, oh, for fuck. Hello, Yarrow. How you doing? Yeah, a patch, like an iron-on patch. Let me have a look. I've only been live for a little bit, yeah. Iron-on patches and badges. Spotlight's got a few. Spotlight's got some neat ones. I could get a heart. Could get a glitter rainbow heart. I could get an oh, that's a robot. Looks like an astronaut, whatever. Could get check me out. Look at these. I could get a cat. I could get a cat and stick it on my shirt. They probably could find a trans flag one, honestly. Could get a rainbow giraffe. What about the lion? We got a wolf. We got little cute cartoon cats. Could do the cartoon cats. We could get these ones where it's like a bunch of little ones. Unicorns. Ew, Harry Potter, no thanks. Skip past that garbage. I'm honestly rather irked. Blah, blah, blah. Excuse me while I let my Australian accent slip for a minute, mate. Fucking hell, mate. I mean, can I actually, can I bring this up? On the subject of getting Smudge a friend, can I fix your spelling? Hang on. Here we go. Did I get Smudge a friend? Yes, no. However, I do want to bring this up. Very sad situation that I don't like to do this kind of thing. I really don't. But I'm going to leave this with you folks. 3 Australian terms. Fucking hell, mate. Oi, mate. Oi, cunt. Exactly. I'm going to leave this here with you folks. My sister's older cat, he's about 12 years old, Mickey, has got some medical problems and my sister cannot afford them. And he's a dear member of the family. We love Mickey and we want to keep him around as much as possible. So if you wanted to, by any chance, go throw some dollars at my sister if you want to. The fund was not actually organized by my sister, it was organized by a friend. However, yeah. I mean, no pressure or anything. Hello, Vanna. How you doing? So yeah, should I get Smudge a friend? The problem is I can't afford to. I would like to. I'd like to get Smudge a friend. I'd like Smudge to have a friend, but I don't think I can afford it at this point in time. It would be irresponsible of me to get another cat, quite frankly. It would be nice. Welcome to Lithuania. I've never been to Lithuania. I've never been outside of Australia, quite frankly, which is rather irksome. I'd like to visit other places. I would, but, you know, there's a bit of a pandemic on. Kinda sucks. How's my stream been? So far, so good. We've just been rambling, just been chatting. I want to get your thoughts on this, folks. On the side, we just scrolled past, honestly, this is kind of very topical for tonight's top story. Kotaku posted something, I know, it's Kotaku. Just remember, everyone, punch the farts. 2 votes no, 6 votes yes. Should I get Smudge a friend? Just going to say a Twitter poll, not a Twitter poll. A Twitch poll is not going to decide whether I buy a second cat. Kotaku, a problem. Yeah, Kotaku is controversial at the best of times. there's an article that went up today that, of course, started the discourse around Hogwarts Legacy. Kicked things off again. True Blue, mate. Let's have a listen. What's this one like? Excuse me while I let my Australian accent slip for a minute. Mate. Like an hell, mate. I'm atrocious. By a hedgehog. Okay, so. Here is this thing that started making the rounds today. Quite frankly, very, very weird situation. Hang on a sec. Let me just find this really quick first because there were some other things. I did sound goofy. There were some other things relating to this that I wanted to bring up before I start talking about this. Blah, 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 blah. There was something. Where was it? Somebody... Maybe it's in here. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's all listed in here. Okay. So, we know that the Kotaku is questionable, but I do want to get your thoughts on this topic. Because it relates to the upcoming Hogwarts Legacy video game, the Harry Potter RPG, except it doesn't actually have Harry Potter in it, and J.K. Rowling is not directly tied to it. However, inevitably, she has been either paid or will be paid royalties for if you buy this game. However... This is definitely a hit piece, don't get me wrong. This is definitely a journalistic hit piece on the lead dev of Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy lead designer used to run Anti-Social Justice YouTube channel. Troy Levitt is a lead designer at Warner Brothers development studio Avalanche Software, currently working on the controversial Harry Potter game Hogwarts Legacy. Now, for the record, the reason that the Harry Potter game, the Hogwarts Legacy game, is controversial is not Harry Potter itself. The franchise itself is not really the issue so much as it is Joanne Rowling's association with it and her ardent stance that she will never be detached from it. Like, Joanne Rowling is intensely linked to this by her own definition. She refuses to be not attached to the franchise. She refuses to let it fall into the hands of the fans. She wants to own it as much as possible. You know. This information was first provided by Did You Know Gaming contributor Liam Robertson, who highlighted the channel Friday evening on Twitter. An accompanying screenshot shows a small portion of Levitt's YouTube channel with video titles such as The Injustice of Social Justice, In Praise of Cultural Appropriation, and Are Thought Crimes Becoming Real? The latter... Why do they keep going with the 1984 shit? The latter a reference to the George Orwell's dystopic sci-fi novel 1984. I did make the 1984 joke in a recent video, but it was a joke. It was a piss take. Thank you very much. Right-wing commentators often use the book's authoritarian Big Brother government as a comparison point to their criticism, likening the fictional surveillance state to real-world equality movements, which is kind of absurd. Hey guys, we want some rights. Stop being Big Brother! I'd like some rights, please. Thought crimes? Are you trying to police our thoughts? I just want to use the toilet, please. But anyway, most conservatives have never read 1984. I am one of those people who hasn't read it. I need to read it. I need to get a copy of it. Quite frankly, one of the big issues with me, with me reading books is I don't have the money to read books. At least not all the good ones. I could go to the library and pick up a book on gardening, but I don't want to do that. Anyway, I don't fucking care to garden. At any rate, you watched the 1956 version of the film on YouTube. Was it 1956? Holy fuck. That long ago. At any rate, you know, what we have here, just with the first two paragraphs, is someone has highlighted Troy Levitt, lead designer at Warner Brothers Development Studio, who's working on the Harry Potter game, on the Hogwarts Legacy game. And he has had reactionary YouTube content as recently as like 2 or 3 years ago. So it's not like this is the interesting thing. If this was like 10 or so years ago, there's this common argument against like the whole cancel culture thing, for example, blah blah blah. Of like if someone said something 10 years ago, that's perhaps enough time for them to move on. But 2 or 3 years ago, what are our thoughts there? What do you folks think of that? It's like I personally think I've changed quite a bit in 2 or 3 years. But do we believe, and this also speaks to the notion of his professionalism, right? I do believe, someone can have the professionalism to just make the video game without any without any of that political nonsense influencing the creation. And again, like, as lead designer, what does that mean in context as well is important. Have they moved on, or are they still on their bullshit? That's kind of what I'm trying to get at, and going on their Twitter, for example, going on their social media, it doesn't seem like they're very active. So and their YouTube channel has become largely abandoned. Actually, I think I can look them up. Let's look them up. I doubt they've uploaded anything. They have been here we go, 65 videos. Latest video 2 years ago, right? Video games, violence, and Venezuela. They love to use Venezuela. And among Levitt's other videos on lengthy defenses of John Lasseter, the Pixar co-founder who left his position at Disney in 2017 after allegations of sexual misconduct. I mean, that kind of thing, being on the defensive of someone who was alleged to have committed sexual abuse, or misconduct, but, that kind of thing speaks to a person's character quite a bit. But, as Homonym said, I used to have a reactionary friend who became a liberal in like 6 months. The idea, you can shift, you can change your opinions and perceptions can change. But I think the major issue with this article is specifically that, obviously listed as news, but it definitely seems specifically like an opinion piece. 1984 is public domain. I should actually use that information to my advantage. Similarly, Capital, I believe, by Marx is public domain, but God, that's a slog. I've read a fair chunk of it, but God, it's a slog. Time isn't the main thing, time is important, but demonstrated accountability. I think I agree with you there, Yarrow. And obviously, you look at the comments on the response to this article on that's right, 1984 fanfiction. I don't doubt it exists. Feck. Hogwarts Legacy. Invariably, when you have Kotaku posting anything, it's going to be loads and loads of people on Twitter just shitting on the article. Shitting on games journalism. So we can almost confirm he got the job on merit rather than who he knew. Sounds like good news for those who are looking forward to the game. I mean, the guy has been a game developer for 26 years, if I'm not mistaken. He's been developing games since 1995. So I don't doubt his capacity for development of video games. I'm just trying to think here. Recommendation for a very short and clearly written contemporary Marxist book is Why Not Socialism? Yeah, you mentioned that. I'll have to write that one down. Capital is a trash book. Venezuela, which is under the thumb of the US via sanctions. Funny how they always leave that detail out. And then they'll post shit on Twitter about how, this is what socialism looks like in Venezuela. And it's a picture of empty shelves in America under capitalism. Very good job, guys. Very good job. Very clever. Okay, so we did the sexual misconduct thing. And Nolan Bushnell, the Atari co-founder, so among Levitt's other videos on lengthy defenses of Nolan Bushnell, the Atari co-founder who Kotaku's reporting. Again, this is really tricky because Kotaku is a very questionable source. A lot of people have, or I would say a controversial source, and this is a Kotaku article, of course. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding this website. Kotaku's reporting found to have fostered a toxic work environment for women. So already, those two things there, quite frankly, in terms of the professionalism of the work environment at Avalanche Software, if we have this person as a lead designer in a capacity where they are potentially in charge of other people and they are defensive of people who have fostered a toxic work environment for women, for example, or defending someone who had allegations of sexual misconduct, it leaves me questioning their efficacy as a manager. You got to get going, Detroit. Have a good one. Thank you so kindly for hanging out. But, as someone who's not working in that environment, you can't really speak to you can't really speak from an insider's perspective, right? And again, these videos are several years old. People's opinions and people's perspectives can change. I'm not sure where to go with that.
Welcome to the Rogue Room.
Florida's Tufo, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. So, Levitt expressed support for Gamergate, a movement that fostered harassment against women and other minorities in the gaming industry, and criticized Anita Sarkeesian's Tropes vs. Women series as an uninformed fringe position. Levitt discussed his opinions on Gamergate in depth during a 2017 interview, saying, "Gamergate, while painful at times, on the whole proved to be a good thing." What are our thoughts on that? I feel like I missed the whole Gamergate thing. This is what's tricky, is I want to comment on that, but I feel like I missed the whole boat. I remember seeing memes about Gamergate, but never being involved in the discussion, so I missed a lot of what happened. Kotaku was calling Metal Gear Solid 5 reactionary propaganda, like that's so dumb, but just because they've said dumb things doesn't mean everything they say is dumb true. And of course, Kotaku is just a website. It's just a publication wherein they will have reporters who will report on certain things. So wouldn't it be, with these people constantly trashing on the publication itself, which of course publications are allowed to have their own standards of reporting, their own standards of the kind of content they produce, which then speaks to the people reporting under them. However, you do have to consider the people reporting under them. It's like, how reliable are they in terms of their journalism individually? This is a very complex discussion. This is a very layered discussion. Because I'm honestly trying to get as many thoughts out as I possibly can here. Gamergate was about ethics in video game journalism. Specifically, Doki Dong, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Specifically, the ethical point of view that women shouldn't be in video game journalism. Yes, that was a large point of contention. Started as a good thing, but quickly became a movement of bigotry. That's largely what I've been able to glean, honestly. That's been the major thing that I have been able to deduce from the perspective of an outsider looking in, I would say. From the perspective of someone who didn't actually deeply get invested in Gamergate. What I've been able to tell is there was a movement towards ethical journalism, which, if we get into the discussion around journalism itself, it's a very ethically muddled area in general. Especially when you consider the recent leak of the CD Projekt Red documentation, which I think we've got an article about. Yes, CD Projekt Red is using DMCA takedowns to remove tweets that share stolen game code. Like, the people who stole that game code from CD Projekt Red threatened to leak it to journalists. And then, what's his name? Jason Schreier posted on his Twitter about the ethics of using that code for the sake of journalism. Like, what is the ethical code there? And among journalists in the industry, there's been this internal debate for years about what do we do with regards to stolen code, given that it is their responsibility, it is their job to report gaming news, and that's absolutely gaming news. But then it's also a stolen piece of information that they're not probably legally allowed to have, but it's also their job. So, that's one big thing. Anita Sarkeesian, the Gamergate lady, turned out to take a bunch of money for shit she never ended up doing. I'm honestly not even sure what the situation was with Anita Sarkeesian. As far as I know, she had a Kickstarter or something like that to fund her YouTube series. I don't remember. I honestly do not remember exactly what happened there. It's largely a meme. Let me have a look. I know she's still around doing her thing. Whatever it is she does nowadays. I think she does YouTube. In 2012, God, it was that long ago. It was 9 years ago. Jesus Christ. Sarkeesian was targeted by an online harassment campaign following her launch of a Kickstarter project to fund the Tropes vs. Women in Video Games series. Supporters donated almost $160,000 to the project, far beyond the $6,000 she had sought. The situation was covered extensively in the media, placing Sarkeesian at the center of discussions about misogyny in video game culture and online harassment. She has spoken to TEDx Women, XOXO Festival, and the United Nations Broadband Working Group on Gender, and appeared on the Colbert Report, discussing her experiences of harassment and the challenge of attempting to improve gender inclusivity in gaming culture and the media. You were 10 in 2012. There you go. Feminist frequency, where were we? Is there more? Is there more on this that I can read up about? Metal Gear Solid 5, that's what that is. People who use journalism to refer to everything from Gawker to New York Times, which run the spectrum from no integrity to very high integrity. That is the point that should be made here as well. We're discussing, a guy who had an SJW YouTube channel, and I guess this circles back around to Anita Sarkeesian in a way. But yeah, that's kind of the point, is like there's a lot of journalistic publications that are focused intently on disseminating the news, the actual facts and discussions around thereof, versus something that largely leans into outrage culture, you know, putting out an article like this, which is potentially, quite honestly, an attempt to bring down this person, potentially, Troy Levitt. I'm highlighting it, but I'm in the way. And don't get me wrong, if this person has still got these viewpoints and was continuing to create content around that kind of thing, yeah, bad. However, if that content is in the past, and he has decided to pursue his role at Warner Brothers with specifically a specifically professional manner, and has put all those things aside and hasn't allowed his opinions of someone who had allegations of sexual misconduct or someone who was fostering a toxic work environment for women, if he puts those viewpoints aside and fosters a work environment that is productive and treats everyone with respect and all these kinds of things. And again, we don't have any information. I don't believe this actually goes into... We'll keep going through the article. But like, what I've been able to glean around the commentary around this article is it's like, well, he's not fostering that kind of work environment. He hasn't had any of those kinds of allegations, though he has expressed support for certain people that have been in that position. It's very complex, honestly. There's so much here, dude. Hideo Kojima is definitely a liberal. I need to play those games at some point. At any rate, let's keep going. A veteran developer, Levitt got his start as a consultant on games like 1996's Twisted Metal 2 and 1997's Jet Moto 2, eventually moving on to a long stint at Disney. He contributed to a variety of licensed games and directed several Disney Infinity expansions before leaving the company in July 2016. Levitt published his first video to his YouTube channel in September 2016, sharing a steady stream of content until his last upload in May 2018. It's since accrued over 24,000 subscribers and 2 million total views. While the channel hasn't been active recently, Levitt's Twitter profile still links to it alongside his status as a Hogwarts Legacy developer. In one video, Levitt claims that he made his employers at Warner Brothers aware of the channel after being hired at Avalanche Software in February 2018, and they didn't seem too worried about his content. Thoughts? Opinions? So, Avalanche Software are aware of the content. They know the content's out there. Levitt hasn't produced any content in that reactionary vein since being hired at Avalanche, by the look of things. So he's put his head down and he's doing his job. It seems like they don't seem too worried about it. You know, they're not fussed by it. I don't agree with the content, most certainly. I look at the content and I'm like, it's kind of gross. Very gross. However, what was his name? Troy Levitt. It's hard to speak on the politics of a person who hasn't spoken on their politics. And again, like, this comes to the situation of, like, did Kotaku need to publish this article? What do you think? There was that guy at The Verge who made a gaming PC badly like 3 years ago. And he still gets harassment. Hang on, wait, let me go back. Made a gaming PC badly 3 years ago, still gets harassment for it 24 hours a day, every day. I feel like because Anita Sarkeesian said some incorrect things, doesn't mean she should be hounded until the end of time. Yeah, I'm kind of the opinion that, like, as bad as the content is, as bad as the idea of putting out these kinds of videos is, it does feel a bit on the nose that Kotaku would put this out there. And who wrote it? The person who wrote it is Ian Walker. This one. This dude. Internet just took a fucking nosedive. Well, that's not good. So what do you think on that? What do you, like, is this journalism? Or is this just a hit piece? Because it's calling out things that that Kotaku knows their audience are going to find disagreeable. And of course, people who are not Kotaku's audience are going to find disagreeable as well. Or rather, the content of the article detractors from Kotaku are going to find disagreeable. So, quite frankly, looking at this from an objective perspective, it definitely seems like this article was specifically designed for one thing alone: clicks. I don't think they had any journalistic integrity with writing this and publishing this. Yeah, it definitely reads hit piece to me. Again, I disagree with Troy Levitt's particular commentary on Bushnell, on 12 script changes to save The Last Jedi. What do you reckon he said in that one? You know, in defense of John Lasseter, a man who was accused of sexual misconduct, Nolan Bushnell, found to have fostered a toxic work environment for women. In some videos, he expressed support for Gamergate, a movement that fostered harassment against women. Like, yeah, these are bad pieces of content. But Levitt has clearly moved on to focusing explicitly on his professional exploits. And to put this out when he hasn't uploaded a video in 2 years' time. And let's be honest, his videos weren't exactly slaying. I mean, my videos don't do well. Quite frankly, my videos do terribly. But 8,000 views, 11,000 views, 7 point... Like, he's not exactly super famous. He doesn't have a huge level of influence. And I highly doubt that any of his personal politics are going to worm their way into Hogwarts Legacy. Which, again, is a game I am personally averse to. I'm not interested in playing the game. I mean, I used to like the universe, but if it were not associated with Joanne Rowling in any way, shape, or form, then yeah, I might be more inclined to give it a shot. But putting all of that aside for a minute, this definitely reads like a hit piece. This definitely reads like an unnecessary bit of, let's get some clicks, Kotaku hasn't had a controversy in a minute, and controversy creates cash. Anita didn't make hateful videos, she just had some questionable takes on some video games. Ultimately, who cares? That's the thing though, again, it all comes back to that situation of creating content that generates interest. You can send me a whisper if you want. Creating content, creating content. Creating content that is designed around the idea of bringing eyes in. Hello, Lancelot. How you doing? Going on. But yeah, and the same with Anita. It's like, I dare say she, like all of us, like controversial content. Perfect! Can we put that in, like, there we go, Draco, you've nailed it. We now have a term for exactly the kind of stuff that, quite frankly, I put this out there a little bit. What with my anti-vax video, that's definitely controversial. We already had an anti-vaxxer in my comment section. That's content. Content. Got him. And quite frankly, like, the people who gain the most viewership in terms of YouTube and in terms of Twitch and all that kind of stuff are people who are able to rile folks up. I did say the word first. I didn't mean to. I didn't want to. But the best content creators have a way of getting their audience fired up and drawing in attention. It's why we constantly see Ninja making terribly bad takes. I honestly, truly believe that Ninja is not making those bad takes by accident. He's going out of his way to say those kinds of things because, quite frankly, look at his stats on Twitch Tracker. You know, since he came back to Twitch, he has not been knocking it out of the park, dude. He's been doing well, obviously. He's doing far better than most of us. But, you know, contrasted with how well he was doing at the peak of Fortnite, doing terribly nowadays, you know. And he's trying to keep his name in the news because every time he says something controversial, it brings people over to his channel and they go and check him out. Same with the Bad Bunny situation. $5 a month. A sub is $5. You know? That blew blah, blah, blah. That gave Bad Bunny a ton of attention. Ton of attention. Or saying something that was honestly fucking on point, Queen. He has a net worth of 20 billion, but when you get to that point in terms of content creation, you're never satisfied with your uppermost goal of whatever. He's not doing bad, he's doing bad in terms of his viewership, which is not even saying that much, because he's still doing good in terms of his viewership. But he's hit a peak at some point, and it's gone back down again, and I think he's trying to regain some of that notoriety he had by saying things like he won't stream with women, yeah. I think he has, actually. I think he's kind of broken that rule and has streamed with women in the past. But what was the most recent controversy? I forgot what the most recent controversy was. Ninja said bad thing. You know what? I made a video on it. Let's go have a look at my YouTube channel. No, I don't agree everyone should sub because it's just $5. But the point Bad Bunny was making, for example, she streams a lot longer than I do, for example. I think she does like 8-10 hour streams, I can't recall. I've seen her stream for significant lengths of time. Here we go. The most recent thing was the Ninja saying he was going to quit playing Fortnite for good over stream snipers. And I think, the rage of like, oh, these stream snipers are going to kill Fortnite. This is a stupid game for stupid kids, blah, 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 blah. Saying that kind of stuff fired people up and got them pissy at him again, because it's like, oh, why is this guy who's super famous, who should expect stream snipers, complaining about stream snipers, And yeah, making money makes you want more money. Gaining a certain level of viewership makes you want more viewership. And what Bad Bunny's point was about the $5 thing, right, was if you were to tune into someone who streams 8 to 10 hours a day, let's just say that there is someone who streams that much, and they are entertaining you, and they are keeping you hooked for that length of time. Her argument was, they're putting out content for free. If they're streaming on Twitch, they're putting out content for free. Her argument was, if you're just sitting there consuming that content for 8 to 10 hours a day, that is some time that you could spend looking for some source of income to support that streamer, that content creator. If you're devoting that much of your time to consuming their content and not actively supporting them, her point was that, well, maybe you should. And I don't disagree, quite honestly. And again, I don't stream for 8 to 10 hours a day. I don't do this full time. Who the fuck sits 8 to 10 hours of the stream? There are people. In the same way that there are people who play like World of Warcraft for that long per day, like every single day. It's not a new emote. Or, because you unlocked it, okay. Are people actively watching it, or do they have a tab open? That's another fair point. But the argument, excuse me, but the argument being made was that if someone is providing you with entertainment and you're just, you've consumed it for ever, every single shred of it, and what was the point that she made? There was a good point she made amidst all of this. The Sushi Boys, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Yeah, I think the specific point she was making, and of course, this could apply to primarily teens to adults, right? It's not gonna, and Bad Bunny doesn't do content for children, so it's kind of irrelevant there. You got a sociology exam to study for? Homonyms, have a good one. Yeah, I think I see your point there. That's what blew the whole controversy up, Sol. Is the and Yarrow, thanks for gifting a sub to Titan TNT. Oh my goodness, join us in the sub lounge, Titan. But yeah, it does come across as being an entitled brat. And Frost Gamer, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. You go, you fucking freeloader, thanks. But that's honestly kind of the point that she made. Quite frankly. And honestly, she was arguing, yeah, if you're sitting there watching this person for hours and hours and hours and hours and not contributing anything, you are, her point that she made was that people are leeching. Just watching free content that other people are paying for. Some people are disabled and can't work, true. Which, honestly, kind of feel that. And that, honestly, quite frankly, Draco, is both sides of the argument here. I find my anxiety makes it incredibly difficult for me to work a standard job. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had a few different types of jobs. But the anxiety eventually reaches a point where it honestly cripples me in terms of my capacity to work in standard working environments. And if, this, for example, provides me an opportunity to give something back to people, to give some form of entertainment to people, there does reach a point where you can't just do it for free forever. If someone routinely, for example, what's a good example here? Let's say a guitarist wants to perform at a club, and they're a good guitarist, and they can entertain a crowd. It's proven they can draw a crowd, right? So they go and they perform at a club for free one night because their friend owns the club. And then the club owner goes and tells a bunch of other club owners in the area, it's like, oh, you should get this guy on. He's a good guitarist. And they're all like, yeah, we'll try you out for free. We'll try you out for free. And they have a good show with him. But, how long are they going to be able to go around to all these different clubs being tried out for free before they have to go, well, listen, I've been doing this shit for a while, and I can't keep doing it without getting any sort of income. Streaming is not hard. Honestly, are you actually a streamer? Can I ask you, are you a streamer? Because there are definitely streamers who put in a ton of effort, a ton of work, and it's not nothing, you know? It's not nothing. It's not as simple. It's like there are some people, don't get me wrong, who do stream playing their favorite game, laughing and watching chat. But there are some people who have gotten to such a point now where it's just, they have so many different sources of income from streaming. We're not really talking about those people with the ad revenue and the thousands and thousands of subs and bits and $5 donos to get a text-to-speech on screen or whatever it is they do. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of big streamers. In fact, you think that's Anita Sarkeesian. She was, in your opinion, an effective critic of misogyny in games and attracted hate from misogynistic gamers who had picked on her bad arguments. And even if streaming were that easy, people who do it don't deserve to eat or pay rent. Yeah, that's the argument. Hey, K&D, how you doing? Like, I enjoy streaming for the purposes of entertainment. I enjoy doing it. I can't deny that I would like to do this as a job. I cannot deny to myself, especially as someone who, performs as an entertainer. As someone who's going, and this is the thing, this is the argument that is constantly made against anyone.
Welcome to the Rogue Room.
Daddy lover, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. This is the argument that is constantly made against anyone who dares to pursue a creative exploit, which I consider this to be a creative exploit. I consider this to be a creative outlet in its own way. Is sitting in front of a microphone and talking in an interactive format. And I do think there is a distinct disdain for people who go into something like entertainment attempting to get into it professionally, attempting to break out professionally, you know? And there's this idea that they're just slackers and they're just not contributing in any way to society and all this. Where would you be without your favorite musicians, your favorite actors, your favorite authors? Where would you be if they just outlawed art tomorrow? Life would be incredibly fucking boring. This is entertainment. If they just stopped paying every single performer on the planet tomorrow, they'd all disappear. And I think a lot of people grossly undervalue the importance of entertainment, especially given how easy it is to access things like music and television and movies and all that. Like, there are a number of services, like, you could watch. Regrettably, there are some people out there who do still watch free-to-air television. But, you know, you listen to the radio in the car. It's free music. Listen to some ads every now and again. Yeah. It's very tricky. It's a very complicated conversation, but it does speak to the idea of diminishing the work that people put in to trying to be your favorite entertainer. And I am trying to be your favorite entertainer. I hope that I am entertaining you. I hope that I'm giving you... Didn't want to risk it. Well, thank you. Thank you, Heckler. I do want to put out the opportunity for you to look at my channel and say, yeah, I like this person and I want to routinely tune into their stuff. And of course, you know, actually, can I just check something? I'm just going to check something. For the record, folks, for the record, I made $6.04 on ads in the past 30 days. You can't live on ad revenue. At least not at my level. At least not at my level. I'm fucking stoked, mate. Cashed up. Let me go back. Let me scroll back because you folks are having this discussion in chat and I want to... streaming is performing as an entertainer. It's exhausting. It's work. As for porn, there's a lot of... I know girls who do OnlyFans stuff, and there's a lot of effort involved. They've got to buy costumes. They've got to buy photography kits. They've got to set up their different sets. They've got to create the content. They've got to edit the content. And they do all of that themselves. Like, for example, me with my streams and my YouTube. I do all of the... And, like, even the social media bullshit is a part of the whole gig, really. It's not just... The thing is... There are streamers who just go live. I used to do this when I started. I would just launch Minecraft on my PS4 and hit the share button and go straight to Twitch and just stream Minecraft from my PS4. Until, you know, after some time I got a PC, I started doing overlays, I started expanding my content a little bit, adding new elements to it. Now we've completely shifted into this format, which is a complete detachment from what I used to do. And... there are those people who just literally will just go live and play a game, and that's fine. And there are those who will go out of their way to plan every single step of the content throughout the stream, and then they will do everything else in their power beyond the stream to continue to grow the brand. Like, there are a lot of people who say, quite frankly, I stream way too many hours, if I'm honest. There's a good bit of advice with regards to, say, the path to partner situation over here. I've streamed for 94 hours in the past 30 days. There you go. And the maximum is 25 to hit partner, quite frankly. So I could stream 25 hours across 12 days, and if I could hit 75 viewer average, I should be spending the rest of that time, realistically speaking, working on content beyond the stream to draw eyes to the stream. Now, don't get me wrong, I am doing that. But I think some people grossly underestimate how much work some streamers actually do put in to make their streams as good as they possibly can. To make the content that you sit there and watch and you enjoy. Hopefully, then welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. And I appreciate, for the record, every single one of you that tunes in. I do. I love you all. You're amazing. Has anyone told you you're amazing today? Has anyone told you you're great? Because you are. I hope you know that. I hope you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I'm a good person. I hope you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I'm good, I'm great, I'm awesome. Because I want you to think that. I do. Uncle Festo. Where's my ring? Please tell you that you're great again. I will. Because you are. Part of the emotional labor of streaming is to make it look like you're having fun because that pleases the viewer. Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, there are people who go live and will literally stream. Like, this is one of the major failings of streaming as a form of content creation and potential... thank you for the hydration, Fox. This is a major problem. Also, I'm going to put a stream marker here because this is a totally different discussion to the Hogwarts lead designer thing. We've gone way off track from that. We'll come back to that if you want to. We don't have to. There is a problem amidst the streaming community that some people actually do develop a sort of an addiction to the idea of not just playing games but streaming. I've seen people who've been streaming for years, far longer than me, and they have been streaming 12-hour days for so long, playing the same few very popular games to no viewers. And I have to pose the question to them, if they actually were at all dedicated to the streaming concept, why are they doing that for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years on end, going nowhere? There's that question to ask. Why are you streaming if there's no one watching? That's kind of the crux of the whole thing. You have to stream to a point of, it comes around to that thing of like streaming is not for everyone. Sort of thing. You went to a random streamer stream who was playing music. When you say they were playing music, and he said this, when you played guitar this morning, it made me feel relaxed, blessed to be in the world, because I was struggling emotionally. I was feeling really anxious about getting up today. Didn't know I'd do it as I was feeling down. Your music helped, made it easier. Felt so cared for and appreciative, provided me peace while I drank my morning coffee. That's lovely. That's lovely, NBSP. You've not missed Raid. I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll go for half an hour more of just chatting. We'll take our break and we'll do Raid Shadow Legends after. We're going to do Raid Shadow Legends. Not trying to have an argument, just proving another viewpoint you were arguing. If you would be hanging the shit on your friend, which you're not. Hence your constant wording. If he could support himself for bills, food, rent. And honestly, that's a privilege I have to accept. It's a very, very skint privilege, don't get me wrong. It's a very, very skint privilege that I've got here. Also, there was another comment regarding Obigian. We'll come back to yours in a moment. Sorry that I missed that, by the way. How are you? I hope you're doing well. There is the argument to be made. Fuck, what was I going to say? God damn it, guys. Oh, yeah, I have a very distinct privilege. I earn, I have a lot of... Like I've said, I've got a lot of issues that prevent me from working in very typical employment, And as a result, I do collect a disability payment from the government, which allows me to cover, honestly, my cost of living and very little else. It keeps me afloat. I do occasionally do food delivery to get a little bit of extra money. But I'm not exactly cashed up, and Twitch does, honestly, recently Twitch has been kind of ridiculous. Fuck is this? I'm trying to look at the number and I can't tell where I'm looking. What the fuck? Thank you. Anyway, so like having something like this and being able to provide entertainment is a privilege. Don't get me wrong. I do have a lot of privilege here. From the angle of people not having funds to sub to people monthly, find the gift subculture really consistent across channels. Brains farting, don't know what to call them. I think I know what you mean. Yeah, like there are a lot of people who will. I've had people routinely in my channel, and this is honestly a distinctly worrying thing about the prospect of being a full-time streamer that some people go for, especially when I see people who are not exactly killing it. Maybe continue the discussion in the Discord as the streaming and the chat has moved on.
Welcome to the Rogue Room.
Welcome to the Rogue Room, Linky. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Anyways, as I was saying, let me come back. Let me come back to this. I've noted this is the thing that worries me about the content, the idea of being a full-time streamer. Again, the dream that a lot of people who go into streaming want to go for. The fact of the matter is, subs, bits, tips, all of those kind of things are incredibly, incredibly variable. Quite frankly, the only potentially consistent form of income is ad revenue, and that depends on your viewership. Like, you could honestly there has been a streamer, I forget what her name was, who was routinely getting hundreds and hundreds of views a month, but some months she would get 200 subs, and other months she'd get 1,000 or more. It's very, very variable. It's very much a thing where you cannot
You are now one of us.
Yara, thank you for gifting a sub to Renew. Speaking of entertainment, Kez is writing again. Could be better, you've been worse. Nice to see your FP. Oh, front page? Don't give a fuck about fishing. I'm a disaster K. I agree. Welcome to the Sub Lounge, Renew. This is the weird thing about gift subs, is I don't know if this person's actually watching at the moment. So, you know, you can get a gift sub while you're not actually watching the stream. So we could be in the Sub Lounge for no good reason. And yes, Yarrow, honestly, you're absolutely right. That's been my experience. The majority of the time when I have a significant sub goal being hit routinely, it's because there are a few people that are keeping me afloat on the sub goal thing. It's not that I have 161 individual people who've subbed of their own volition. Like, they're not all active subs. A lot of that is gift subs. And I dare say that's the case across the platform, which makes it very, precarious? I guess precarious. Hello, BC Ideas. How's it going? Yeah, COVID-19 vaccine has been rolled out, yeah. Which is good. It's good shit. Being rolled out in Scotland. Single vaccine jab linked to 85% and 94% drop in risk of coronavirus. Fucking nice. It's also being rolled out here in Australia now. Anyway. I wish the Twitch sub gift algorithm would prioritize by watch time or follow age or something. There is a priority system in place, if I am not mistaken, but I'm not 100% sure how it works. Should be working, but meh. Like the Renaissance era of artists and patrons. Actually, yeah, that's very relevant to this whole thing. Is like, you know, blah 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 blah. It is very relevant to that whole concept. Patronage. Going back to ages past. You know, certain statues or paintings wouldn't exist were it not for patrons. You know, wealthier people who would give money to someone who was the artist in this scenario to create the art. The Aussie PM was first on the list, apparently. Has he said anything like against? I don't think he would have, would he? I do play. I kind of do. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. Follow. No, yeah, gift subs. He hasn't. Has he said anything questioning COVID? I am not sure on that one. Good old Scotty from marketing. Ugh. Because, you know, we've seen what Trump has had to say about it, and there was the Bill Shorten thing. Was it Bill Shorten who said that Scotty from marketing is a simp for Donald Trump? Or was it someone else? Apparently Scromo. Scromo, I love it. is pro-vax, which is the only good thing about him. Well, that's good. That's good. Bill Shorten was the based one. We stand Bill Shorten. You actually support a particular artist on Patreon because you like their art in the game they're making. Can I mention a point for anyone who needs some art done? I don't want to... I mean, there was a person who DM'd me, honestly, and I feel really bad about this. Because they DM'd me and they're just like, do you need some art done? And they sent me some pictures, and their art's really cute. But I can't afford it. Like, here's this... I mean, this is the really tricky thing about looking at art online. I want to believe this person is legit. But like, this person sent me a DM, and they're just like, do you need some art done for your channel? And quite frankly, their art is cute as fuck. But I can't afford it. You know, I can't afford to spend money on that. On commission stuff. They're called Melbop. I'm gonna follow them. Because... but you know, sliding in my DMs asking if I need art is kind of where the awkward crops up. I don't like people sliding in my DMs, generally speaking. But yeah, their art is cute as fuck. Posture check. We're posture checking. Hope the Equality Act passes. Which? Oh yeah. Was it this one? Because I actually had this article in my notes. Joe Biden urges Congress to swiftly pass Historic Equality Act and finally protect LGBT+ Americans. Are we done on the streamer thing? Are we done on the patronage thing, or do we want to keep going on this? There's a discussion. I feel like I've said a bunch of nothing. Have I said anything tonight? Have I just like rambled incoherently? Or have I said things that are good? Have I had good takes? I don't know if I've had good takes. Again, I'm gonna just conclude with like, if you are enjoying art and you have, like, quite frankly, I'm gonna put it this way: if you are enjoying your entertainment, and there is an option to support it, and you have the capacity to do so, I think there is a level of responsibility. But it's not something you need to do, of course. The onus is upon you. Thank you for the hydration, Festo. It's entirely upon you to decide that for yourself. Yeah, I think there's a point at which, you know, if you're routinely consuming something that's otherwise free, you know, offering a tip like that is helpful in a way. And quite frankly, I think one of the better ways to put it for streamers, or YouTubers specifically, is like, if you're enjoying the content and consuming it regularly, and you don't have the option to support financially, yeah, only if you can, especially given we're in a pandemic. If you don't have the option to support financially, tell your friends, is the way that I tend to go. I keep looking at that fucking bruise. It gets worse. It's gonna be like jet black tomorrow, I swear to goodness. Anyway, one of the best ways you can support a streamer non-financially is to tell your friends, share their posts on social media, tell your friends IRL if you can do that. Share clips if you have a good clip of something that a streamer has said. Recommend their YouTube videos, or TikTok, or whatever it is. You know, just like word of mouth, especially with regards to content creation, is ridiculously good. Really good. Helps that person grow. Is it an interjection site? I got blood taken the other night. And they left the cannula in, and I fucked up like an absolute moron, and I scratched my face with a cannula in my arm, and that hurted a lot. That hurted a lot, and that's what caused the bruise. You don't need a take, we're all just trying to hang out. True, fair point, fair point. I like to do the news stuff and discuss topics at length, though. Think of how much you pay for content as a % of disposable income beyond what pays for your basic needs, rather than a fixed dollar amount. Fair point. Exactly. You know, if you wanted to, quite frankly, if you wanted to support the stream, and be wary doing this, because I think Patreon tends to plaster your full name on my alerts if you do go to my Patreon. But my Patreon, I'm trying to, honestly, I hate the way Patreon is laid out, quite frankly. It's fucking atrocious. Let me find my Patreon page where you can subscribe. No, view my public page. This is a patron view of your public page. Here, for example. You know, if you wanted to support the stream without, you know, getting emotes, I guess, I do have a $1 tier on my Patreon, or $3 or whatever. And then once you get to level 5, there's Discord roles. Level 10. Level 4.
Welcome to the Rogue
Level
Room.
3, level 4, level 5. Welcome to the Rogue Room. Pirate Girl, Jess, sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. This was supposed to be a meme, by the way. Yarrow was supposed to be a joke. And Yarrow, the maniac, absolutely went and did it. But if you wanted to, if you really like me that much, I do video essays once a month. And my next one is about fitness, I think, or sports or something like that. And it gets you producer credit in the intro of the videos. So when the intro is playing, there will be like producer or produced by or something like that, and it'll have your name there in the intro of the video instead of in the outro where I usually put patrons. I'm gonna try to start putting patrons in my regular stream videos too. The issue is if the patronage changes and it becomes more difficult to constantly swap out names and things like that, as well as smashing that like button and notification bell. Feelings on supporting content, especially interactive content, is financial support. If it won't cause you financial harm, isn't enabling a self-destructive behavior, e.g. compulsive spending. Yes. Good point. Very good point. If a streamer has a $5 OnlyFans, they get a bigger cut from that than a $5 Twitch sub too. True. Yes. Yes, they do. Twitch takes like 50%, and that's just using that as the baseline. If I had an OnlyFans, which actually I do, but I don't put anything on there. I was going to do fitness stuff on there, but I never ended up getting around to it. Because I'm just lazy. I'm very, very lazy, and I don't want to create more content because that's effort. It was going to be like fitness videos and things like that, workouts, and diet plans and things like that, which I don't have the capacity to do. Anyway, I'm not qualified for any of that shit. At any rate, as a subscription model, if you get a $5 Twitch sub, again, basing this purely on United States rates. If you had a $5 Twitch sub, Twitch takes 50% of that in the US. It gets worse once you get into international stuff. If you have a $5 OnlyFans subscription, I think the actual percentage they take is significantly less. Let me have a look. Around about 20%. So if you get a $5 sub on OnlyFans, OnlyFans takes $1, sorry. We could do a cat OnlyFans if you want. You get $3 if someone pays for $5, okay. Am I lefties? I'm a lefty. I'm one of those leftist libtards that the right's always screeching about. Yeah, Patreon, coffee is good because coffee is just direct tips, I think. I don't think coffee takes anything. Maybe they do, I don't know. But if they do take something, it's been absolutely minimal. It's been next to nothing. You can do like direct PayPal. I've turned my PayPal into a business PayPal, which hopefully makes it not expose anyone's personal details, but I can't be sure of that. Only Nyans. Now I want naan bread. I want naan bread, mate. What else is there? And yeah, Patreon. How much? How much does Patreon take? Patreon currently takes 5% of its users' earnings, and it has one service tier. Wait, that's not right. When was this? This was from 2019. Mate, I need up-to-date information. Thank you. Patreon charges a commission of roughly 5 to 12% of creators' monthly income, in addition to payment processing fees. So again, like, you know, if you have the option, quite frankly, if you're going to support a streamer, unless you're dedicatedly about the emotes and the ad reviewing, which is fair.
Never went astray.
Yarrow.
Streamlabs takes 0 of donations.
I don't use Streamlabs for my donation. Well, no. Let's clarify this really quickly. I do not like the term donations. Let's put this out there right now. Donations implies a gift of money to a charitable organization. I specifically want to make the notion aware to all of you that when you're giving money to a streamer, unless they are running a charitable organization and that money is going to charitable costs, you are giving them a tip, much like you would tip someone in a service job if you were living in the US, for example. You know, what you are doing is, you know, essentially giving money to an online busker. we're not receiving donations. There is very specific terminology there which can lead to, and I quite frankly do not have this listed in my panels, and I should have it listed, that all tips and subs and bits and all that are non-refundable and shouldn't be refundable. But I don't have that listed there. I should do that. That's probably a good idea because there are other people who have that exact thing. Because that's important. That disclaimer is important because recently there was a thing on Twitter by... Let me think. Who was it? Maybe... Let me see. Somebody like
a
gifted.
little under the table action never went astray.
Yarrow.
Streamlabs takes 0% of tips. Also, I can't control what GIF appears on screen.
I don't know why it does the GIF thing. That's weird, but thank you, Yarrow. As I was saying, somebody apparently recently on... What's his name? Class... At Class. What's his name? Yeah, Classify. If you don't have the money to do it, please don't gift subscribers bits in a Twitch channel and then proceed to charge them back. Apparently, it heavily affects streamers' lives and it's just such a scummy thing to do. Someone charged back almost 1.5k worth of subs or bits or whatever, and I've sent money to my family. OBGN, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink and chill out with us. Not me getting too distracted by the discourse to remember to follow. That's good, honestly. Like, the fact that I am managing to hold your attention is what I want. But yeah, this is what Classified tweeted. Somebody had tipped or subbed 1.5k worth, and earlier this week thinking I was getting the money that was initially mine, now this asshole charged it back and it's just a really awkward situation. I'm fine and I'll be good, but just saying you don't need to tip or gift to begin with. Again, should be tip. Please don't do it and then charge it back. And yeah, like, this is the thing, you know, if you don't have the capacity, if you don't have the financial capacity to support someone, don't do it in such a way that you're going to need to charge back in order to get that money back. This is actually a legitimate problem that Pokemon actually spoke on a while back. She set her maximum, I think she orchestrated with Streamlabs that her maximum tip amount would be $5 to try and curb people who were routinely tipping her like a lot of money. And quite frankly, the news broke on several occasions that someone had tipped entirely too much money to Pokemon and would then reach out to her. It's just like, oh, I've sent you so much money, I can't afford that.
Money for the Queen.
Thank you, Fox. Thank you so kindly. This is why you would state near the tip button, tips are non-refundable but appreciated. That's what I've got to do that. I've got to figure that out. Yeah. This has been a whole thing. Financial discourse around patronage. Not at all what I was going to get into tonight. Anything for the Queen. I need to get another crown. I need to get another crown that actually sits on my head. The one that I do have is nice, but it doesn't sit on my head properly. It's an absolute maniac. If anything, this is an important conversation. You're absolutely right. I want people to know all of these little bits and pieces that I've learned over the years. How much of that do I keep? Bits is 100%.
On you.
It doesn't do the text-to-speech. Refund this dime ASAP, please. Yeah, Twitch only takes... Because you pay up front more money to get bits, like say for example, I think it's like $14 to buy 1,000 bits or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of the costs. But because you pay extra than the worth of the bits, I get every single bit that you cheer. You know, so every one bit is 1 cent, or it equates a bit differently when it comes around to Australian dollars and things like that. But moral of the story is, look at the checks that come. Don't count it before it's in its bank account. That's true too. That is true too. Hello, Emmy. How's it hanging? What's going on? My arm's itchy. We haven't done Raid Shadow Legends yet. Don't worry, we will. LTOV. What's LTOV? I'll have to look at what it is. Labor theory of value.
Welcome to the Rogue
I suppose. You have to go to bed. Heck, I'm so sorry. Have a good rest. Work at 7 a.m. Goodness gracious me. Get some rest. Have a good one. And by the way, BC Ideas, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Catching up on John Oliver. Classy. We'd love to hear it. The Labour theory of, I mean, I suppose it is. It technically is philosophy. Marx was a philosopher. However, Marx did not refer to his own theory of value as a Labour theory of value. I suppose technically it is. How do you define philosophy? That's a tricky thing, isn't it? Like, what is a chair? Well, I mean, if we just use Wikipedia, the number one source for all information in the world, philosophy is the study of general and fundamental questions such as those about reason, existence, knowledge, values, mind, and language. Such questions are often posed as problems to be studied or resolved. The term was probably coined by Pythagoras. Philosophical methods include questioning, critical discussion, rational argument, systemic presentation. So I suppose, yeah, technically, on a more detailed and on a more relevant topic, I suppose. Whereas I feel like classical philosophy is more about broader concepts. I don't know. Yarrow, if you've got a philosophy degree, do tell us what your thoughts are. Does the Labour theory of value fall under the branch of philosophy? Because I did do a bit of a philosophy introduction, and Marx was brought up at uni. I haven't done the whole thing yet. Twitch takes 30% of bits from the bit purchaser and 0 from the streamer. There you go. Philosophy is the stuff that makes the brain do the tingly thing. Have we got music? We haven't got music. Yes, we do. We do have music. It's just not playing very loudly. Very quiet at the moment. So I guess, yeah, the Labour theory of value could potentially... It's economics. Yeah, it's not really. It's yeah. Not really. And besides, like, generally speaking, when we did a little bit of philosophy thing, we just read from this, which, yeah, Marx is in here. And I suppose there is economic philosophy. Where is he? Where's Marx? He's in this book. He's in this book, isn't he? Ah. The history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles. Botwick says. Mick Botwick says, please abide by these rules. Be kind to yourselves and each other. Don't be a reactionary. Use common sense. It's always worth bringing those back up, in case anyone forgets. British! So, we didn't actually touch on this properly. Let's talk about this for a second. Joe Biden urges Congress to swiftly pass Historic Equality Act and finally protect LGBT plus Americans. US President Joe Biden delivers remarks at a virtual event hosted by the Munich Security Conference in the East Room of the White House on the 19th of February 2021 in Washington, D.C. Joe Biden has called on Congress to move quickly in passing the Equality Act to enshrine LGBT plus rights once and for all. After Democrats David Cicilline and Jeff Merkley formally reintroduced the Equality Act to the House of Representatives, the president compelled Congress to finally pass the legislation which has lingered for years. I applaud Congressman David Cicilline and the entire Congressional Equality Caucus for introducing the Equality Act in the House of Representatives yesterday, and I urge Congress to swiftly pass this historic legislation, Biden said in a statement. Weirdly based coming from Joe Bungus. Yeah, I feel like this is a move to try and sway more people to the Democratic side of things, quite frankly. Try to, big up support for the Democratic Party. But it's, if it's a good thing for LGBT plus people, then it's a good thing. That's the issue. It comes across like that virtue signaling thing. Hello, Emmy, how you doing? By the way, right back at ya. It's like he's turning out to be more progressive as a president than a candidate. Yeah. I mean, there have been a number of things that we could criticize Biden on. Broken clock is right twice a day, but I'll take what I can get. Yeah, it's that kind of thing where it's like, he's not exactly as left as we would like, of course. But he's certainly more left, he's not as left as we would like. And he's made some questionable decisions since being in office, is what I was trying to get at here. But if they're trying to, get us on their side by passing civil rights, then, yeah, politicians don't do anything without gain, exactly. Whenever... that link is fucking broken. Just waiting for the bus to get home. Where are you? Holy... yeah. It's like... We often say the point of like, don't stan any politicians, right? Working night shift. Oh, okay. Well, I hope it was a good night shift. I'm not fixing that. Fair. Yeah, it's like the thing we say. We don't stan any politicians. Even if, AOC has some good ideas. Even if Sanders has some good ideas. Even if Jacinda Ardern has routinely proven to be an absolutely demonstrably good Prime Minister for New Zealand. At the end of the day, politicians are where they are and are doing what they're doing for not only public support, which will help them get re-elected or things like that, but also for just to look good. Just like it's all a popularity contest.
Supporter of the cause.
Thank you for giving Emmy a sub. Gifted 63 subs in the channel. Oh my goodness. Don't think lefties should participate in electoralism. The master's tools cannot destroy the master's shed. In electoralism, what do you mean? Here we are. No, that's the wrong one. Sub Lounge. Sorry, we're here in the Sub Lounge. We've heard that Joe Biden is a figurehead who wants to meet the party where it is rather than pull the party to where he is. And Biden is surrounded by a lot of progressive young LGBT and BIPOC people. Well, that's ideal. But yeah, Draco's got a very good point. Stan not the politicians, but the good things they do. Positive actions and changes are very welcome. And that's what we want. We should stan... We should stop using that term, quite frankly. The things that we should be reacting positively to with regards to politics are the political ideas. We should be reacting positively to this politician has done this good thing. The unfortunate reality of the situation, though, is that many politicians will do a lot of bad things as well. So if you say, oh, well, they did this one good thing, everyone's going to come down on you, well, they did a whole bunch of bad things too, which is the situation with Biden right now, as he has BIPOC is Black, Indigenous, People of Color. It's a umbrella term. So Black, Indigenous, People of Color. With commas in there. And yeah, I don't like Biden. I like that Biden is pushing for the protection of gays. Yes, exactly. And yeah, we have the unfortunate negativity of him allowing trans people in the military when we should just be banning cis people from the military too. Just get rid of the fucking military. But the inverse of that is by making... And there was an article actually on here, on Pink News, very relevant to that whole thing. Ian McKellen reflects on how MI6 lifting the ban on gay spies quietly changed the course of gay rights. So, by Biden allowing trans people back into the military, it's a step towards normalizing trans people. It is a step towards proper trans rights, trans representation. It's a good thing, But at the same time, more trans people can go across to the Middle East and get shot to death. Yay. If you don't participate, you're left vulnerable to those who snatch up power, linking in the absence of rational actors. Yeah, you see fascists pop up, which is the case that we nearly had with Trump. But again, I'm still very wary of Trump initiating his own political party in the US, especially given that he has such a broad audience across the world. Abolition of military is a luxury in a world of empire. You need to dismantle empires before you leave small nations in immediate danger. I mean, that's a fair point. Even if we keep the military, but take 25% of the funds that go to the military and put those towards more positive things at home, like fixing infrastructure, feeding people and housing the homeless. Honestly, exactly. Like, we could eliminate so many of our issues, especially with regards to the United States and how much they spend on military spending. It's absurd how much money goes into the US. And like I said before, Biden has approved, or as I was going to say, Biden has approved of another deal with Raytheon, I think it was. Biden's Pentagon backs missile defense after a $1.2 billion flop. The Biden administration is pressing ahead with efforts to develop a successor to a failed missile interceptor project that cost $1.2 billion. I wish we could get rid of the military, but the unfortunate world we live in is one where we apparently need one, and if we take it away, it leads to more issues than it solves. So yes, allowing trans people in the military is a good thing overall, in the sense that it normalizes trans people, but, encouraging more military spending is never good, because that's money that could be spent at home. That's money that could be spent improving the circumstances. Countries will never dismantle their military. We all need to come to terms with that. That's the world we live in. As much as I dislike the idea of the military, I dislike the idea of violence and conflict and all that, like I've said before. Honestly, I put out a tweet that unironically today I put out a tweet that was along the lines of good pacifist games, go. Where was it? Let me just, yeah. I want more games that are pacifist to play. Because quite frankly, I was looking at my collection of games today and I'm just like, it's really weird how much my attitude towards violence has changed to the point where I have gone fully down the slope. The slippery slope of like games with guns encourage violence. But yeah, I'm gonna replay Dishonored soon. Stardew Valley, My Time at Porsche, those are ones that were recommended, yeah. But yeah, I just like, I really want more games where I just don't have to kill things. I feel like there's just so much violence in the world that detracts from, and we're gonna be playing a violent game in a minute. We're kind of at the end of this whole topic. Dino Run? The way I say it, if someone is assigned female at birth but discovers they're actually a man and has an unrelated issue, they decide they want to join the military. Why should they be barred from it purely for that accident of birth? I mean, yeah. Why should anyone be barred from the military, for example, if they decide to join it? There's no real reason there. You know, if cis men and cis women can join the military, I don't see what the issue is with someone who's trans joining the military. The US spends more on its military than the next 10 biggest countries. And yeah, true, that's another big thing. Sim City, Sims... the problem there is I'm over those. Thank you, Kez. First, what is Dino Run? Chicken Police is the best pacifist game. I kind of want something that's like a big open world third-person game that's got a lot of things in common with something like Stardew. I mean, this is what My Time at Porsche looks like, but something set in more of like a suburbia or a city or whatever, and it's just a chill go out, like kind of like The Sims, but kind of like GTA. Do you get what I mean? Like, I want to play a game where you control one character and you go out and you just live in the world, and it's just got some fun elements to it. Like, kind of honestly what I've seen of Yakuza minus the violent bits. And you know, you add a bit more in there. Kind of weird to describe what I mean. Nico can be pacifist if you play a vegan. Usually like violent games but haven't been in the mood for it lately. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel that too. Oh, I'm out of water. Alright. That was the literal last drop that I've got. They're capable of doing what the military would ask them, then let them in. Froxelina, how you doing? We're going to take a be right back really quickly, and then we're going to come back and we are going to play Raid Shadow Legends. We've been talking about, we've hit our level 5 hype train. We are going to play Raid Shadow Legends just for like half an hour. We're not going to play it for too long, and then we'll come back to the discussions, the discourse. And I'm going to work on some visual effects for stream soon, I think. Because when I say the discourse, I want to press a button and have it flash up the discourse. Love this peachy look, thank you. I'm actually wearing my flame palette tonight. You like it? Like, quite frankly, everything else that I do with my makeup is always explicitly the same, except my eyeshadow changes. Occasionally, I will wear lipstick. Very occasionally. But yeah, it's flame palette. I'm hot. Alright, let's take a quick be right back. We'll come back after this. We'll do Raid Shadow Legends and then we'll come back to Discourse. My mic is still on. I pressed the mic live button and my mic is still on. What the fuck is this unprofessionalism? Feel free to sub, but that's not a rational question. Go ahead, please. Sub, follow, whatever, but that's not a rational question. Are they still here? Did they stick around? I'm curious, because I wanted to just quickly wrap up on this topic before we, By the way, Yarrow, thank you for giving a sub to Sophros. Are you still here? Please tell me you're still here. You're watching the YouTube video. Okay, so let's just say, for example, let's use, why does it feel like my frame rate is, low? My frame rate? No, my frame rate is fine. They're allegedly watching the YouTube video, okay. That doesn't really cover the whole thing, though. I want to talk about this. This is, again, I'm going to do this fucking video. I'm going to just throw this out there right now. Sports is my next video essay topic, and I'm going to break down this entire fucking thing. Along with some discussions around the toxicity of the fitness industry, but primarily one of the major focuses of my next video is going to be this trans women in sports thing, because quite frankly, it pisses me the fuck off that I keep having to see this come up in my chat, and I want an actual tear-down video, maybe even 40 minutes long, I don't fucking know. It's going to be a big one. I've just got to put in the effort to make it. If you need help, I may need help. I may need some help. But at any rate, what was her name? Olympic... intersex woman... Caster Semenya. The Olympics, like the International Olympic Committee, instituted policies in regards to Caster Semenya, who is an intersex woman who is assigned. I'm not trying to avoid rape. I just wanted to point this out. But for example, like the Olympics Committee put in a ruling. Comic Girl, thank you for the host. The Olympics Committee put in a ruling that Caster Semenya and other people like her, who are either trans women or intersex women, intersex cisgender women, if their testosterone levels are too high, they have to take testosterone blockers to bring them down to a comparable level to their competitors. So the question that was asked was something like, if fucking if Conor McGregor decided to transition and carry on fighting, do you not think that the UFC would institute policies that he has to, or she, in this circumstance, Conette McGregor, do you not think that the UFC would institute policies that say you have to take testosterone blockers until you are at a competitive level with those around you? Because it is demonstrably scientifically proven that once you start taking testosterone blockers, within a year, your testosterone levels and your strength levels and all of those kind of things are comparable to, you know, women in a similar body structure or weight class or whatever it is. I think it's testosterone blockers and estrogen have a significant enough impact on your physiology that your strength levels change, your other things. People don't understand these labels. Okay, you don't blame anyone for not. Yeah, true. We hear from Matt Dillahunty, who said there should be Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. Fair. Male, not male, female, etc. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Seabase, how's it going? Alright. Let's do the bad thing. I just wanted to get that out there. Let's do this. This is gonna suck so much asshole, quite frankly. So basically, a trans woman has to be doing hormone therapy to be allowed in, yes. So they never consider that when they ask the question. You see this study? Remember one? I'd have to find it. Do I have to research right now? I was gonna play a stupid video game that I don't want to play. But I promised my community that, quite frankly, you have Google, right? I'll throw that out there. I will do my proper research on this. I have to get the sources myself, though. So don't apologize. I do have to get the sources myself, but I have seen the study. Yarrow, thank you so kindly for the 100 bits. It is out there. It is out there. Okay, so if you find it, please drop the link in my chat. I'll use it. But there is a study to suggest that once you have taken estrogen for at least 12 months, you have like the disparity in physiology between men and women is so minimal. It's negligible. Medicare letter that called you miss. I mean, I'm sorry that you experienced that, Kez. That's awful. Got a letter from the NRMA that called me Ms. Abigail, and I'm over the moon about that. I'm not legally Ms. Abigail yet, though, so I wonder if that'll later cause issues. They didn't need to confirm my identity. I just signed up as Ms. Abigail. But yeah, I kind of hate that. I wish they would. Does Medicare have the option to change pronouns and titles and stuff like that? There you go. I left my ring on the fucking kitchen counter. Someone end me, please. I'll get it later. I can't be bothered now. Okay, let's play Raid Shadow Legends. Again, not sponsored. It's just because you idiots, you morons, you imbeciles got me to a level 5 hype train the other night. 100% of the way, by the way. By the way, Rye Guy, thank you. I'm glad you love my style. Take that and run with it. They didn't ask any clarifying questions. I should just do that for everything. Just sign up as Ms. Abigail, and like if they don't ask questions, if they don't ask for ID, we're golden. Here we go. We're gonna play Raid Shadow Legends, the video game. Yeah, true. Your thayness is 100% valid. I am not answering that question. I'm playing Raid Shadow Legends. This is gonna suck. I can already tell. The audio is completely out of sync for the record. This is just like, they've just gone like the full-blown generic fantasy route.
I think I'll pass on this one.
Elhain, I think he likes you.
Not for long.
God damn, it's so cool. Hang on, let me see if I can I turn down the volume a little bit? Hang on. We'll turn it, it's gonna be loud for me, but I'll turn it down for you folks. There we go. It does seem like, you know what it reminds me of, quite frankly? Who's been to a smoke shop? How many of you have been to the smoke shop? You know where they just, like, their main thing is they sell cigarettes? And in the window, they'll have an assortment of just, like, random shit. And routinely, they have, like, these statues of really generic dragons. Or something like that. That's what this game reminds me of. It reminds me of, like, the knockoff, like, figurines of shit they have in the smoke shop. So we click on him. Okay. What happened there?
Well shot. Where did you learn that?
Dragons are pretty fucking poggers.
The Arbiter cannot bar me forever, Elf. You and I will have our day. Let's keep moving.
So we'll go till 11. So 20 minutes. We're not gonna play for too long.
4 of them. Come on. Which of you filth dies first today?
What did I do? I just...
We really don't have time for this.
Very well. Take them.
What am I actually doing? What's this? What does this button do? Okay. Cool, I'm playing on God mode.
Glad you're on our side.
Yes, just one big happy
It
family.
does suck ass.
Move along, the sooner we win, the sooner I'm free of you.
Pick your champions.
Spread out. The artifact should be here.
Okay, welcome to the Rogue Room. It is very mad generic. This is obviously the tutorial, yes. And yet the dialogue, everything about this is incredibly generic. You would like this if you just like the fantasy. The fantasies.
Every dragon has a weak spot.
Dragon. I like dragons. I like any portrayal of dragons. I tend to love them. Oh, well, she's dead. LeMayo. She's dead, Lamau. By the way,
I think I like this dragon.
how would I feel if my viewership shot up a ton while playing this? Insulted.
We attack together. On 3. For Teleria. For the Arbiter.
Oh god, for Teleria. For Teleria! Do I get to do anything? You just did all of that yourself. I didn't do anything. They're all dead. Okay, tutorial over. Everyone died. Lol. Can we get some lol in chat? For Generica!
Champions may have been the ones.
That's what it sounds like. Generica.
Yet it seems I have failed. They were not ready.
Can we get some Lamau Pog champs in chat?
Teleria is dying, consumed by war and discord.
Oh no, they've got Discord in Teleria? No wonder they're failing.
Spread a foul shadow from the east. As Guardian of Teleria, I have done what I can.
For generic fantasy kingdom. You know what it reminds me of? Kingdoms of Amalur. That was, at the time, the most generic fantasy I think I've ever seen. And I played World of Warcraft. I can't believe they remastered that game. Kingdoms of Amalur. I honestly wanted to go back to it and give it another try after they did the remaster. It was called Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. I tried to play it, but quite frankly, it was literally an MMO, but it was single player. Linky, thank you for... Well, we can't do the sub lounge because we're playing a game. But, thank you for the sub. And Yarrow, thank you for the 60 bits. It was like when someone you're just about to level out a friendly acquaintance to friend starts talking about their early early thousands high fantasy hyperfixation and starts showing you dialogue compilations on YouTube. I don't even know what you mean, but I'm already cringing. I like Draco. I love WoW. Like, unfortunately, I don't play it anymore because A, budget, and B, Blizzard are a terrible company. But I quite frankly love the setting of World of Warcraft. K&D. Oh my goodness, why are you all cheering for this fucking game? Thank you for the 90 bits. For legally different from Skyrim. Yeah, like there are a bunch of fantasy settings you could argue are really as generic as all heck. Quite frankly, of the fantasy games I played, Elder Scrolls is the most unique of the bunch.
This task now falls to you. I have strength left to restore only
I think that's why I like Skyrim so much.
With their shard remade, they will be bound to your will. But you must choose.
Alright, who do we want? Who do we like? Elhain, Kale, Gaelic, or Athol? Your wife and you still play WoW?
On you. Raid Shadow Legends is gingerly shovelware.
Gingerly shovelware. Thank you for the 150 bits, Yarrow. You want Elder Scrolls books? They exist. There are Elder Scrolls books out there. Quite honestly, you know what I would love? I'd love a compendium of all the in-game books and read through those. I should do an Elder Scrolls lore stream one day. Gingerly, it censors certain words. Are there Elder Scrolls? Who do we like? Do we like the Orc, the Elf Wizard, the Paladin, or the Archer? The Elf Archer. Dissociation and exhaustion and overload are settling in, so you go to bed. Have a good rest, Kez. We will have fun. We want to go the Archer. Hang on. I can solve this problem. I can solve this problem. Did you folks know that sorcerer used to be... Here you go, you vote. Sorcerer, I think it was sorcerer, used to be a term used to deride gay folks. It used to be a slur toward gay folks. And as a gay person, I will happily refer to myself as a sorcerer. I'm a sorcerer. Whoa, I'm magic. We're getting a lot of folks wanting the barbarian. We wizards up in here. Can we get some gay wizards in chat? Can we get some I'm a gay wizard in chat? More gay mages in video games. Actually, that's an idea that I've considered for a Skyrim run. I've never really done the romance thing. I think there are actual Elder Scrolls novels. Yeah. Or comics. There are comics at the very least. Fuck you, J.K. Rowling. HP is our property now. Okay, everyone wants the Paladin. I'm not the Paladin, the Barbarian, sorry. Yeah, romance in Skyrim absolutely sucks, but I kind of want to make a wizard character who is specifically gay. And just, like, maybe a lesbian. J.K. Rowling having a mental breakdown. She absolutely does, too. That's the thing. Oh, let me go back to the game so we have the background music. She absolutely would, too. Like, she doesn't like the idea. She's not averse to the idea of people making fan fiction or anything like that, but she is absolutely averse to the idea that Harry Potter is anything but her property. So somebody in an interview asked her, it's like, how do you feel that the community seems to have heavily adopted Harry Potter? Do you feel like it's more the audience's thing than your thing? And she got really upset by that question. She got really defensive. It's like, no, Harry Potter will always be my property. Excuse me. This is literally an attack on biological women. But quite frankly, J.K. Rowling sounds like how she wrote Hermione in the latter books. Anyway, Gay Shadow Legends. Skyrim lore, novel, Skyrim book report. TES lore was cool when it was written by Kirkbride. How is Final Fantasy XIV? I've seen some people play it. So yeah, we're doing Orc, we're doing Gallic. Choose your first champion.
So be it.
Yeah, we're playing Raid Wolf. We're not playing for very long. Arise, my champion.
Awaken, warrior. This is your bastion. From here you will summon and train champions to fight the Dark One and his shadow.
Sadly, cute Archer Lady lost. She was cute, wasn't she? But hey, at least this Orc, pretty good looking.
You've chosen your first champion.
He's a looker.
One champion is
I'd fuck him.
an army. Use a mystery shard to summon another champion at the portal.
I'd rather not. Why have I got this dude's face? I'm player 787777857. You want fuck this game? Awaken. I know it's so generic.
Mystery shards allow you to summon common, uncommon, and rare champions.
Do I get a legendary champion? I want a legendary champion. These writers are really pushing boundaries. Let me guess, there's also some racism in there?
You've summoned an attack-type champion with great attack and support skills. Let's head to the campaign map and prepare your champions for their first taste of combat.
That's just Melina with a bow. I don't mind her design though, quite frankly. It's pretty cool. I click that. It's just like battle, campaign.
Karok Castle, seat of King Tabor. This is where your journey begins.
What actually happens in this story?
I fear that the king and his bannerlords have fallen to the shadow. Once noble and just, he has brought war upon his allies and ruin on his people.
I'm gonna say, like, I know a lot of people are probably way the fuck over, you know, grounded fantasy where the evil is actually the evil of men kind of storyline, but I prefer that way over the whole generic evil entity that is possessing people kind of fantasy. Quite frankly. I mean, again, why I probably like The Elder Scrolls so much. Except for the fact that it does have that, big evil monster in Alduin. One of the major failings of that particular game.
You and your champions must fight through his bannerlords. Find him.
Quite frankly, I would much prefer to play a game where the evil darkness shadow that has spread throughout the land is a fascist cult. I would much prefer that. Like, you know, you could have your magic swords and sorcery, your monsters and all that, but the primary antagonist of the story would be a fascist cult that has risen up across the land and is trying to instate some kind of, you know, authoritarian dictatorship. Well, I haven't played Morrowind, but I think so. Harry Potter is only mine and will always only be mine, only until 2077, Jocan. Had to Google public domain, that's fucking great. Put him in assorted media, yeah. Okay, we're going to Karok Castle. AC Odyssey's villain is a fascist cult? Well, there you go. Start.
11 generations of peace had reigned between the
Kingdom of Karok and the realm of Aravia. 11 generations.
A peace
Now shattered by King Tabor's brutal campaign of expansion into the neutral lands between the two kingdoms. I'm just gonna talk over the narrator. This is like, just listen to him, it's generic as fuck.
Revered as a pillar of justice, King Tabor had imposed crushing taxes to finance his war with his former ally, bringing desolation and ruin upon his own people.
Dude, Vagabond, like, is it just me? Oh my goodness. Yarrow.
In Dimension 20, Fantasy High on YouTube, there is a freaky allegory for a Christian cult.
Interesting. There we go. Does it, from what I've heard of Valhalla, Assassin's Creed, the recent games in general, which is kind of ironic considering the historical accuracy that they've generally tried to strive for. What I've been told is that the new AC games generally whitewash slavery anyway. Is that the thing? I'm not quite sure. Dunmer Ethnostate and Riddle Outlanders from Morrowind. Oh yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I think that's the storyline of the Civil War in Skyrim too. That's literally what Ulfric wants to do. He wants to instill a Nord ethno-state across Skyrim, and to do that he has to fight back against the Altmer, against the Aldmeri Dominion. But he is flagrantly a white supremacist, a Nord supremacist, who wants to oust anyone from Skyrim who's not useful to his regime. I think, anyway. So wait, what are we disagreeing with? Who are you disagreeing with? Daddy Trump is God and no one can tell me different. You're a snowflake if you disagree. Oh, I see. That's what you're referring to. Okay.
Had the king lost all reason?
Yes.
On the orders of the Arbiter, the company set out to persuade him to renounce his folly and wayward policies, even if it meant storming the very gates of Kirok Castle.
Did they use fantasynamegenerators.com for every proper noun? Yeah, like the Aldmeri Dominion are, quite frankly, Ulfric Stormcloak is maybe you've got a situation in Skyrim Civil War. This is probably the only interesting thing they did politically with Skyrim, is that the Aldmeri Dominion are outright fascists, and the Nords are Nord supremacists, definitely, and the Empire, they're not very, like, there's no good party to side with, quite frankly. Yeah, they're all kind of fashy in their own ways, but the Aldmeri Dominion is demonstrably the worst of the lot, unfortunately. I mean, quite frankly, it'd be interesting if you could side with them in some way, but I also kind of don't want that to be a thing.
Karok will not fall easily. Like all places in Teleria, there are multiple stages of defenders. You must defeat all stages to move forward with your journey.
Yeah, Ulfric did see the Thalmor as an excuse to install an ethno-state. Yes, absolutely. He is an Ulfric. He was an Aldmeri asset. Abby, what'd you say? Don't see Odyssey or Origins or Valhalla as whitewashing slavery, because during those periods, anyone, no matter your skin color, was most likely a slave. Yes, but the people you play as, especially in Valhalla, would have kept slaves, and they go out of their way to make it so you're not a slave keeper, and they demonize slave keepers in the game, which is historically, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Historically unfaithful? Best from gameplay. I don't think I've played a Nord that long to be able to determine. They don't demonize slave keepers. I thought they did. Dissonant, perhaps dissonant. Battle for 4 energy.
This is where
Here we go.
Select your team and review the enemy champions before each battle. Each champion has unique skills and an affinity that makes them weak or strong against another affinity. Magic beats spirit. Spirit beats force.
We're gonna rock, paper,
Force
scissors
beats
mechanic.
Magic. And Void is special. Void champions have no direct weaknesses against other affinities.
Rock, paper, scissors game.
Only 2 champions. Let us pick your team.
Oh gee, who am I gonna pick? 1 and 2.
Well done.
There we go. I did so well.
Leader has an aura skill. These provide special bonuses to all allied champions in a battle.
Let's start. Okay. Yeah, what exactly have you missed with Skyrim? The Thalmor are fully fascistic, aggressively enforcing a specific religion. The Stormcloaks are racist, pushing for an ethno-state with only one religion. And the Empire is like, guys, can we not? Yeah, the Empire is a tricky one because they essentially are ruled over by the Aldmeri Dominion. So their politics, I suppose, are directly influenced by the Aldmeri Dominion, but they also have their own political goals of, if you talk to the guy who's in charge, whose name escapes me right now, he explicitly states that, they're very tenuous allies. They don't want to be allied with the Aldmeri Dominion. But I don't doubt somebody that calls themselves the Cyrodiilic Empire are necessarily a democratic institution, for example. They're not a very good group, regardless. It's about the towers, true. A 90-minute video essay on the Skyrim Civil War, and it freaking opened your eyes. I'm going to watch it. We should do that. We should do that as stream content.
The arrows above each enemy's head show how your champion's affinity matches up against theirs. An affinity advantage means a more effective attack, more damage, and a higher chance to crit.
Yeah, drop it in the Discord. Drop it in the assorted media section of the Discord. The longer the cheesy Mussolini was in power, the more he started to resemble the BBEG from your novel so much that kind of turned you off writing him. Use him as an example. Use him as an inspiration. What do I do here? Okay. turn-based gameplay. Alright, you do this one on this guy. Rain of arrows. One's dead. Yeah, use whatever this one is. What's this one called? I clicked on it. It's not showing me what the thing is called. I'm trying to see the tooltip, dude. I'm trying to see the fucking tooltip. Oh, you gotta hold it. Oh, I can move the camera. Look, we got camera movement. This looks so fucking scuffed, it is. Hellraiser attacks all enemies. There we go. Well, that was good. Get some camera shake. Look at this action camera movement. Can I rotate the camera? I can rotate like 45 degrees. And I've got angles like Divinity, but shitty. Hey, that was misogynistic. He attacked the woman first. I actually attacked the woman first. Oh, they got another turn? Decrease speed. Hey, you're not allowed to hit me. I'm in charge here. What's this one do? Attacks 4 times at random. Okay. What's better, Candy Crush or Raid Shadow Legends? Look at the textures in the background here, for the record. Can we just point those awful, atrocious background textures out? For shame, Raid Shadow Legends, your game looks like shit. Can I just throw that out there? Your game looks like garbage. What are these graphics? What are these trashy fucking PS1 era graphics? Well, that was good. Yeah, I feel like I'd prefer to play this than Candy Crush, quite honestly. Yeah, where's my 4K 60 FPS for the record? Console quality graphics, by the way. I like how the archer's name is just Sniper.
Excellent. Campaign levels drop artifacts, and here's your first. Artifacts are powerful items that boost your champion's stats.
So again, with the D&D shit, the very basic D&D upgrade system.
Items, your champions will earn XP after every battle.
Oh, what a shock.
Earn enough, and they'll level up, growing in strength and power.
Oh my goodness, who'd have guessed? It always baffles me, these kinds of things. It's like they level up in strength and power, and then you go into another level and it's harder. You know, you know, the enemies have got more HP and strength and all that. It's entirely redundant.
This is where you can view all champions under your control. Each champion can equip up to 6 artifacts.
Strength and power.
And equip your champion.
Here you go. Have a sword, I guess.
See that? Your artifact has already strengthened this champion.
Oh, wow.
Better yet, artifacts can be equipped in sets to provide special bonuses and effects.
He's got 226 attack right now, plus 4. That's incredible. That's amazing.
I believe you are ready. Return to Carrot Castle.
Oh, okay. We're just gonna skip you. All right, whatever. Fuck yeah. We'll do one more. We'll do one more mission. Lydia Dioria, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Yeah, that's the phrase that I use. So you can replay. You can do speed runs. We can speed run this shit. Worried I'd shill for this shit? No way. This is garbage. Have they offered you an upgrade for money yet? Not yet. We're getting there. Don't worry, we'll get there. We'll get there, trust me. Another Lydia. This is the same exact level. Fucking kill him, mate. Oh no, she decreased my defense. Here, eat shit. I mean, I'd do the sponsorship. I'd try, dude. This is why you couldn't sponsor me as a streamer. I am so critical of fucking everything. Honestly. She just attacked of her own volition. I didn't do anything there. Yeah, whatever this does, just... There we go. And you get deaded. This is bad. It's not good. It's not fun. I'm not controlling anything. I'm just pressing buttons. Although that kind of speaks to the notion of, like, what do we control in video games? Khajiit Proxy. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Ugh.
Congratulations, you leveled up.
Cool.
Every time you level up, you'll get full energy, gems, and sometimes you'll even unlock new features.
I feel like this would be so much better if it was even slightly less bland and generic. Quite frankly, there was a point that Donkey made in a recent video that I want to bring up, where he specifically spoke of the idea that maybe there are pieces of software being developed now to just develop a video game based on a bunch of keywords, and quite frankly, I wouldn't be shocked if that's something the games industry is working on behind the scenes for stuff like Raid Shadow Legends. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like this was developed in some part by an algorithm. They just feed, like, generic game mechanics into it, and maybe certain artistic assets, and the game is able to be generated by and large by a machine. Video games are about making decisions. What decisions other than which button to press? Automatically making a game of a certain type, yeah. And this is clearly like generically based on turn-based RPGs and on like literally every high fantasy setting on the planet. That acerbic criticism could be a selling point as a sponsor candidate, because if you're sponsoring something, it's actually a genuine endorsement. True.
And here are your rewards from battle. With this artifact, you'll have enough to equip a full set. Let's go.
You know what it reminds me of vaguely is that, what was that game called that was advertising on websites a few years ago?
Artifacts can be equipped
Yeah. Put the helmet on. Shut up.
Special icons will show which
Okay, just
sets
keep
a
talking.
champion
Ebony, yeah. I didn't even get to specify the tits.
bonuses given to your champions.
I didn't even get to the point where I specified the entire ad campaign for Ebony was, "How are you doing, my lord? Let's fuck." And it was an Age of Empires clone. It was a real-time strategy game. And the entire ad campaign was sexy, artistic, like, artworks of women with cleavage pushed up to their fucking neck. Look at these tits. Do they make you want to play our game now? And quite frankly, I think that's exactly what they're doing with Raid Shadow Legends. They've put out a bunch of marketing material and a bunch of sponsorships where it's just generic high fantasy design. Look at this guy and tell me he doesn't absolutely evoke World of Warcraft orcs, you know? And this chick over here, I can't even look at her. Okay.
This set boosts your champion's HP.
I know how statistics
Like
works.
artifacts.
Yeah, okay, upgrade it, whatever. Just do the thing. Use my silver, whatever. What about AFK Arena? All the advertising is just tits. Hang on. Let me have a look here. AFK Arena ads. Have you got any specific examples? Because I feel like my Google search isn't helping here. I think I know what you mean though. Like there's a specific set of bullshit that goes on. Game let us see. Cool lady. Here you go. Upgrade again. Spend your silver. You can just keep spending silver. Okay, I get the point. How much do you want me to upgrade this?
Excellent work.
Whatevs.
When you upgrade artifacts to certain levels, they gain new substats, giving your champions an even bigger boost.
Actually, fair point, Draco. And as well, when we come back to this...
You
Oh,
have
shit.
learned well. Keep strengthening your...
Can we just go to... Yeah, play for 7 days to get an epic support champion. Anyway, you get to collect shit. You received 1 boots. Oh my... It's asking me to pay for things now. Look. $30 fucking dollars in American dollary dues. You have to be joking. The fair point about the... Fucking Christ. There's another ad. Oh my god, shut up! I want to click on my champions. Another fair point to be made is like, yes, he invokes the typical Warcraft Elder Scrolls Orc look, but yeah, the shoulder pads aren't big enough. And he doesn't have the tusks sticking out of the bottom, he doesn't have tusks sticking out of the bottom jaw. So they've done just enough to differentiate themselves, but he's still generic orc as all fuck. And this chick, Dark Elves, look at the ass. Look at how sexualized they've made the female character. Her abs though, dude. Her core. This chick definitely, like, she works out. I feel like that's like every character though, quite frankly. Can we look at the champions, or are we not allowed to? Champion Vault? No. Alright, are we done with this? Can I stop? I feel like I'm being abused. 38 Australian dollars, Obi, yes. I feel like I'm being abused by this game. I don't want it. Take it away. Look at the clip. Let's have a look at the clip. Hang on. Take it away. I don't like it. It hurts me internally. It was a real-time strategy game. And the entire ad campaign was sexy, artistic, like, artworks of women with cleavage pushed up to their fucking neck. Look at these tits. Do they make you want to play our game now? And quite frankly, I think that's exactly what they're doing with Raid Shadow Legends. They've put out a bunch of marketing material and a bunch of sponsorships where it's just generic high fantasy design. Look at this guy and tell me he doesn't absolutely evoke. It was a real time. Well, there's Raid Shadow Legends. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Okay. There we go. Just to really ensure that I never get a sponsorship from Raid Shadow Legends, we're going to set the title to Raid Shadow Legends is a bad game. We're back in just chatting now. My goodness. Why did you let me do that? There you go. There is our hype train level 5 goal. We need to set a new goal. A new level 5 hype train goal. If it happens again, we need something else. Yes. Seriously thinking he has an addiction. It may be. It may be an addiction. Oh, how many followers are... No, God, no. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me another shitty fucking game to play. Oh, Christ on a cock. We're not playing Ebony. We're not playing Ebony. No, not happening. And I'll tell you what else I'm not playing. I'll tell you what else I'm not fucking playing, dude. We're not playing Ebony. We're not playing Raid Shadow Legends anymore. I'm uninstalling that as soon as the stream is over. We're also not gonna play. I never understood the hype around these mobile browser games like that. I don't know.
On you. Detransitioning.
Detransition? What? Because of Raid Shadow Legends? Thank you for the 100 bits, Yarrow. I'm also not going to be playing... Not to be our back screen. Soulja Boy's new video game console. Following a failed attempt in 2018, rapper Soulja Boy, perhaps best known for his song Crank That Soulja Boy, is apparently gearing up to release another new game console. Is that a joke, Yarrow? I am curious. It's a joke. Okay. On February 20, Soulja Boy tweeted, "Coming soon at Soulja Game." When you go to @SouljaGame, the newest tweet reads that they are building a new console from scratch, all new design, all new games, all new deals. Let's make history. There's also an Instagram account that has 3 images of an upcoming console, and not only does it look very similar to an Xbox One S or Xbox Series S, the photos are accompanied by a controller that looks very much like PS2's DualShock 2. Dude, Soulja Boy, what are you doing? For anyone who's out of the loop, Soulja Boy released a game console that was basically a drop-shipped emulator. Okay, it's, for anyone who doesn't know, drop-shipping is when you buy a bunch of a product overseas from like Chinese factories or whatever that are knockoffs of things, and you resell them over in the West at a markup to make a profit. And yeah, like he's trying it again. It is okay to quit, Soulja Boy. It's okay to admit to yourself that Soulja Game isn't a thing and you should stop doing it. Why would you, like, the video games industry, Soulja Boy, I hate to break this to you, but the video game console production industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And there are a lot more people involved than you and your drop shippers. I mean, don't get me wrong, Soulja Boy obviously knows a lot of people, but how many people does he actually know that can help him produce a fucking gaming system? This is on the level of absurd that the Ouya was on. Except at least the Ouya had its own content. I'll check it out soon, Wolf. Automod, fucking Chinese, I know. As previously mentioned, Soulja Boy began selling Soulja Game branded consoles and handhelds in 2018, but they were quickly discovered to just be off-brand emulators that could be found elsewhere. Soulja Boy stopped selling these systems less than a month after he began, admitting that he had to boss up. I didn't have a choice. What does that even mean, dude? Soulja Boy stopped selling these systems less than a month after he began, admitting that he had to boss up. What does boss up mean, mate? And worse still, oh, they do have an HDMI port. Soulja Boy stopped selling Soulja Game console. Let me go through this really quickly. Reported by Rolling Stone. This was back in 2019 for the record. You're tired but you can't sleep. Well, you're more than welcome to hang out with us. We're talking about Soulja Boy's newest game console. The day before he stopped selling them, he wrote in a now deleted tweet, "For anyone that thinks Nintendo is going to sue me, nothing's going to happen. Everything is legit. My console isn't going anywhere, trust me." So for anyone who's out of the loop, it had a bunch of games on it that he didn't have the licenses for. So he released this game console. It had games like Mario, Zelda, and all of that on there that were emulated onto the system. And yeah, he wasn't legal. For anyone that thinks Nintendo is going to sue me, nothing's going to happen. Everything's legit. Let me lay this out for you, Soldier Boy, really quickly. Nintendo are very explicit about the kind of deals they make. Nintendo is a very exclusive company. And this kind of bleeds into something else I wanted to talk about. Switch games are too expensive and have every reason to be. Nintendo's not making a deal with Soldier Boy, a rapper, to distribute their games on an emulation system. There was absolutely some behind-the-scenes C&D stuff going on here. No, I wasn't I played Raid Shadow Legends as a meme because we hit a level 5 hype train the other day, and it was a reward for it, and I regret every second of it. No, we're not still in the category, are we? I updated. I did update my category. We're not playing Raid Shadow. Why is it still in Raid Shadow Legends, dude? I changed the category out of Raid Shadow Legends. Why are you doing this to me? Don't do this to me, Twitch. Anyway, as we were talking. We tried it. It sucks. Anyway, where were we going with this? Yeah, while this new Soldier game may have to go against the PS5, Xbox Series XS, and Nintendo Switch, it will also have tough competition from the 4K, 240 FPS KF console is a real gaming PC and fried chicken warmer. Excuse me. How much of a tip to get me to play another 30 minutes of Raid? Nowhere near enough. Move over PS5 and Xbox Series X. Kentucky Fried Chicken announced its KF console, a VR-ready Intel-powered PC capable of 4K ray tracing, gameplay up to 240 FPS, and a chicken chamber that will keep your chicken warm as you game. No, we aren't kidding. Dude, I would buy this fucking thing. It's built by Cooler Master, and the patented chicken chamber is perhaps the marquee feature. This is fucking great, honestly. Like, KFC is a conglomerate that has the capacity to pull off a meme like this. This is a real thing. This isn't fake. This is an actual PC that allows you to keep your chicken warm. Keep your tendies warm while you are gaming. Gamers. The gamers. This is a legit thing. If I had the money, I would buy a KF console far before I would buy Soldier Boy's new gaming console. This man's is broke, as K&D said. This man's is broke, and he can't make money for some reason. He streams on Twitch. Can we point that out right now? Like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Soldier Boy streams on Twitch. He's live right now with 1,275 viewers. Soldier Boy, the rapper himself, is a Twitch partner playing GTA 5. Dude, quite honestly, you're Soldier Boy. You just downscale a little bit. I've seen clips of him in his mansion, what he streams from, and I'm like, dude, just downscale a bit. You know, if you're not hustling hard enough, quite frankly, if you ain't hustling hard enough, just rely on the Twitch subs, the bits, the tips. I don't doubt that Soldier Boy could make enough money just on Twitch to just live a reasonable life. He doesn't need to have all of the excess that he used to have. He doesn't need to try to scam people into buying a gaming console. He simply does not. Soldier Boy, chill, man. Just stop trying to scam people into your totes legit gaming consoles. Yeah, T-Pain's a streamer. Does he have the voice effect thing on while he streams? I've seen people who've got a, what's it called? At least T-Pain doesn't sell consoles, true. He's actually released music. Sorry, but thank you for the hydration. I need it because I'm drinking wine. But T-Pain has actually released music for streamers that's DMCA free, in the same way that Streambeats has. T-Pain has actually also announced, I think, certain albums of his are able to be streamed for free. No issues, which is really cool. Yeah, he streams a lot. He hangs out in people's streams, yeah. T-Pain seems like a really cool dude. I can't speak to that as a person who would... I mean, I don't know him personally, but he seems cool. Seems like a chill dude. But yeah, Soulja Boy, please. Give up on the game console thing. It's... Dude, like... If you have the capacity to do so, if you have the money, which he may not. Again, we've weighed up the idea that he may be broke. Soulja Boy may be broke. Make a game! Nacho Link, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Soulja Boy, you are far more likely to get some sales, to get some income, if you hire a game studio to make you a game. Rogue Fortress, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Then, if you keep trying to push this game console thing. Again, people are buying PS5s, Xbox Series X's, KFC console, and Nintendo Switches, and gaming PCs. They're not buying whatever the fuck you're selling. They're not buying Soldier Game 2.0. He doesn't have voice effect on... Yeah, probably not consistently. Get flipped off. Unicorn, there we go. And if I've forgotten anyone's flip off, please remind me. I'm drunk. It's how I cope with my dysphoria. It's a badass game, agreed. I mean, hey, if you want to think it's a badass game, go ahead. It's got a nice art style. I'll give that credit where credit is due. It has a nice art style. I do like the art style of the game. Abby, clip time. We're doing news. I'm going to be honest, I don't generally like to watch clips of other people's streams on my streams, unless they, like, just rated me, like, literally 2 seconds ago. Surely he can go... Yeah, like, legitimately. And, quite frankly, there are plenty of indie dev studios out there who would love to collaborate with someone like Soulja Boy. They would love to collaborate with someone like Soulja Boy. And they would take the opportunity and make a game, and he could make money off that. But instead, he seems to think he's got this absurd idea in his head that he can make a game console without real... And, of course, he's not actually making the game console. Again, it's going to be another situation of an emulator that he brought over from China or something like that. He's going to try to make it as legit as possible, but it just reeks of a scam, and it's kind of unsettling. Especially given he has a significant audience. 50 Cent made 2 games. Actually, there may be more. I'm pretty sure there was Blood on the Sand, Bulletproof. Yeah, 50 Cent Bulletproof was the first game. And a sequel, Blood on the Sand, was released in 2009. A PlayStation portable version called 50 Cent Bulletproof G-Unit Edition with a top-down perspective was released in 2006. I think that's it. Those 3. Who wanted the link to the Skyrim video? I can't recall. I'll watch it. I'll find it. Don't worry. He can incorporate his music into it. Dude, you know what he should do? You know what Soulja Boy should do? He should do Stardew Valley clone. Get a studio together to do a Stardew Valley clone, Soulja Boy. Just give it whatever aesthetic you please. I don't care. You're headed to bed now, Emmy. Have a good one. Thank you so kindly for hanging out tonight. Appreciate you. Soldier Valley. Fuck yeah. Minecraft Hardcore Survival. You want me to do Hardcore Survival again? I'll consider it. Well, yeah, I'll consider it. Again, I am contemplating this idea of write-off Wednesdays, where we just play a game. You know, just Wednesday nights, 9 PM, usual time. We'll do a game. We could do a Minecraft Hardcore Survival game one day. There you go. For the record tie. When all these artists realize gaming culture is consistently growing and never going to die during pandemics, like, bruh. It's honestly, getting a game studio together, funding a game studio is a good idea for an artist. Thank you for the posture check. Do Rust, I'd need to own it first. Madness, and honestly, like, Fox bought me Resident Evil 2 recently, and I'd like to give that a crack. Imagine if some of your favorite musicians collaborated with a game dev to make a game together and write the music for it. The issue there, of course. Got to make sure that music is DMCA free so streamers can play it. Like, I believe Cyberpunk actually had a streamer mode that took out all of the copyright music, all of the DMCA music, and it still had issues with DMCA. People were still getting copyright claims on stuff that was in the game. Stardew Valley clone is a ripoff of Harvest Mode. Sorry, I just just peeked the microphone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was mean. Honestly, I shouldn't do that as someone. Peaked. I need an emote for peaked. I'm going to be doing my emotes again soon. I've got some new ones I want to put out. So get ready for some new emotes. As someone who jumps at sudden noises, I shouldn't have done that. I get really anxious about sudden noises. My son does this thing where he goes, ah! Like louder than that. Really loud. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, and I can't handle it. And they botched it at launch. There is that whole thing. What about a Soldier Boy Minecraft clone that's played on the internet browser? Yes, please. Soldiercraft. It's really grandiose. Like, why settle for making a game above and beyond? Console is the ultimate game-related project. It's way too high of a standard to set for yourself. My two options. Are those my two options for oh, we need a gun emote. We already have the screenshot. We did do Raid Shadow Legends for a bit. It's shit. It's fucking shit. Yeah, I'm trying not to. Also, my microphone sucks. I really want to get a better. It's not even entirely my fault. I just get a little bit excited. I'm not. I mean, I was intentionally trying to do that. That was a bad idea. Sorry. For that one time, but I do peak my audio a lot, and it annoys the hell out of me. Because my microphone has got a very low peak. It's a blue snowball, and yeah, I really don't want this to be a place where people feel unwelcomed. So, I will do my best. Immediately imagine working with Disturbed. Immediately imagine Disturbed working with a game dev, so the soundtrack is nothing but Disturbed. That'd be pretty good. What kind of game would it be? Two options. Yeah, we do have the, we do have... Put on the dress, Ridoid. We already have this emote. Like... it's very pay to win. It's very fucking pay to win. We got through the tutorial and like the first mission, and then it immediately hit me with a bunch of pop-ups. One of them was $29 USD, $30 USD to buy a pack of resources. Another one that immediately followed was a further $10. It's just an absolute microtransaction fest. Do not play Raid Shadow Legends. Do not play Raid Shadow Legends. Made by casino-linked companies. Do you actually have an article for that? Because you've mentioned that a number of times. And I would like to see some sources on it. Because that would honestly be fucking amazing. Sorry, I dipped away from the microphone. You probably didn't hear that correctly. That would be fucking amazing to read about that. I don't doubt you at all. Anyway. Thanks to 3 streamers, you've learned to accept who you are, that you're bisexual and prefer men more, and that you're a furry, you accept your disabilities. You're also just normal in your own way. You are absolutely normal in your own way. Can I make a suggestion though, Wolf? You do not have Asperger's syndrome. You are autistic. We do not use the term Asperger's anymore because Hans Asperger was a Nazi. The preferred term in this day and age is autistic. Just autistic. Video from Upper Echelon who deep dives and explains it. Oh, I see. A sheet of rain just started pissing down. Goodness me. It was looking like it was going to rain today earlier. Next stream, use NordVPN. I'm just going to go through the list of the most... I'll buy a pair of Raycon E25 everyday earbuds. Just start going through all the major sponsorships. The guy who Asperger's syndrome was named for, Hans Asperger, was a Nazi, yes. He also tortured people in his experiments. So nowadays we don't call it Asperger's syndrome, we call it autism spectrum disorder. And this leads into another discussion around the problematic nature in which we refer to people with autism. I am referred to by most people as a high-functioning autistic person. But we don't like the idea of being referred to as high-function, low-function, because it kind of dismisses a lot of the nuance. But it's a very difficult conversation to have because, we've just gotten rid of the terminology of Asperger's, which, as far as I recall, has generally been the 1, 2, 3, 4. Yara, thank you for the 1,234 bits. Then I need a website by Squarespace. Thank you, Yarrow. That's a lot of money, actually. Autism spectrum condition. Thank you, Lilith. Oh my goodness, that's perfect. That is perfect, because disorder has a lot of negative connotations to it as well. Autism spectrum condition. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you. As people know, your condition is Asperger's, it's just easier to explain. I mean, fair, but I'm the kind of person who prefers to educate people on these things. If I know a certain thing, if I know a reason that something is problematic, I like to expand their horizons a bit and say, well, listen, here's the situation. Let's have this discussion, you know? And coming back to the whole thing about, like, Conor McGregor transitioning or whatever, that's why I went on that little bit of a tirade, which Conor McGregor is not transitioning, for the record. Glinner might be, which would be a really weird turn of events, but... Autism spectrum quirk. I got a lot of those. I like the idea of, let's break down why this idea is wrong and why this idea has issues behind it, and then have a discussion around why that is. It's kind of my thing. I can't imagine Jewish people with autism would appreciate it. Absolutely, yeah. Got so excited for a sec about which? Oh, about Glinner transitioning? Haven't heard that. Ask your support working tomorrow how widely or commonly known autism spectrum condition is as a term. Just drop both videos. Thank you for that. I'll give them a look as soon as I'm able. I'll try to watch them tomorrow because I don't think I have anything on. Again, I haven't mentioned this yet. I've been having a lot of stress, and I think I've begun to realize the stress is particularly associated with the fact that I've enrolled myself in full-time university, which was supposed to start today. And I think the chest pain I've been experiencing is a specific symptom of that enrollment. So I'm considering either dropping it or going very, very part-time. And I haven't even started doing anything yet. I haven't done any lectures, tutorials. The whole system of university is incredibly awkwardly laid out, and as someone who's very neurodivergent and doesn't understand all this structure at all, I'm left with just this intense void of feeling where I'm just like, maybe I shouldn't do this. You're gonna have to Google what Glinner's been up to. Yeah, Glinner's been on a bit of a... Yeah. Should we talk about it? I mean, I don't want to hang too much on Glinner, quite frankly. But let's go to Glinner's fucking recent thing. There's even more of this. We talked about the specific situation. Glinner went on, like, you could just go look at his blog, the Substack blog. It starts with, "These are not lesbians. These are all from a lesbian dating app named Her." It's just literally him going, "These are not lesbians. They took the..." And then it's just, quite frankly, and I feel bad for this person who's just right at the top of the article, it's just a list of screenshots. It's just a list of screenshots of people from the Her app, the Her lesbian dating app, which, by the way, can we just go to Her app really quickly? Oh my god, I can't find their fucking... their Twitter, I can't remember what their... Here it is. Found it. Okay, so he went on the app, found a bunch of screenshots of trans and non-binary people who were on the app, or maybe just trans lesbians, I'm not quite sure, and basically called out all these people that were not very passing or anything like that as an attack on the concept of self-ID. And the app themselves put out this statement as like, you know, an app for all women and queer folks is not our or anyone else's place to question or invalidate another person's identity. We are here for all women, including the trans community. Please be assured this user will be found and removed from our platform. I did put up a video on it, if you want to watch that. But there has been more progress in this area since then. He just keeps going with this. He doesn't stop. He just keeps going with this. If you want to, you can go watch A Man on Lesbian Dating Apps, or Graham Linnen is Obsessed with Trans People, which is on my YouTube channel right now. Press exclamation mark. Butch lesbians got caught in the fucking auto mod. At any rate, go watch that if you want the basic concept of what's going on. And then, you know, he actually joined the app. He created a profile. Graham, she, her. And then he updated his profile. This is really fucking disturbing. Loves cuddles. Furry adult baby. Grew up with porn. Reddit moderator. Looking for girly sleepover / pillow fights. Oh fuck, I didn't mean to click on it. Has own van. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. No kink shamers. Okay, maybe kink shamers. He's just... Ugh. This person is detestable. And then it keeps going. I updated my her profile again. Look at this. This person is deranged. This person is deranged. Neutroir Maverick. Boop bop beep. Of course he had to bring in, and he did the age thing. He's changed his age to 18. This man is well into his 50s or 60s. Had to do the Gina Carano thing. Space Overlord. On date will need you to pay for my taxi so builders don't make fun of me. Magical new type of human. Certainly not a bog standard electro-goth. Raising money for sedan share, polyamorous as well. What is he even on about at this point? I don't even know what this imbecile is doing at this stage. He's completely... This man needs help. He's going through a divorce. That's like yesterday. That was yesterday. He's going through, as far as I know, he's either had a divorce recently or he's going through one. And the crux of the whole situation begins back at the It Crowd when he did an episode. He wrote an episode for the show that featured one of the characters dating a trans woman. And if I'm not mistaken, it was pretty problematic representation, but it's nowhere near as bad as the shit he's been doing since then, which has been explicitly arguing against trans rights, against self-ID, against rip your marriage.
R.I.P. your marriage.
Rip your marriage, Glinner. And he's just been going on this tangent for ages now, arguing against the existence of trans women, specifically trans women, because he's saying how ridiculous it is that people who are not gender conforming, who maybe it's a trans woman with facial hair, maybe it's a trans woman who just looks a bit more butch, or any of those kinds of things. And just like going, this man is obsessed. Twixt Lee, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Like, this man is obsessed. Absolutely obsessed with trans people, and it's really bizarre. Yarrow, thank you for gifting us up to Common Enemy 909. Oh my goodness, thank you so kindly. We now enter the subscriber lounge. The alcohol's hitting me a bit. One of us leaving him for another woman because you're a royal piece of shit to other women. Can you imagine if his wife left him for a transgender woman? I don't want to pry. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Cis and intersex women have facial hair too. Good point. Good point. Let me grab an article I just found. Where was it? I messaged it to... You know what? It's in the Discord. It's in the newsroom. Also, this is just funny. Not that one. This absolute fucking queen here. This absolute fucking queen, can we talk about? Woman refuses to shave mustache or unibrow because her facial hair helps her weed out bad dates. Can we get some Poggers champions in chat? Aldina Jaganyak, I'm not sure. 31 often receives cruel comments and stares from strangers because of her full mustache and monobrow, but she refuses to remove her facial hair. What a fucking queen we stan! We fucking stan. The tutor from Copenhagen, Denmark, has decided to embrace the hair that sprouts on her upper lip and between her eyes because the reaction to both helps her weed out bad dates and has made her embrace being different. Eldina grew up in a small city where people were expected to stick to rigid beauty norms. As she got older, she became frustrated at the expectation that women had to be hair-free. I'm honestly experiencing this frustration myself, especially as a trans person, where it's like, I feel now I have to like strip off every single hair on my body. It annoys the heck out of me. Yarrow, thank you for gifting us up to Lilith Themyscira. Does look good with the unibrow. She just looks good. Look at her. Look at this absolute fucking queen here. Legend. Yeah, the whole expectation that women have to be hair-free and all that kind of thing is just absolutely... The beauty standards are ridiculous. Eldina decided to put down the tweezers and razors and let her facial hair flourish. Compared to men, we are expected to spend much more time and money on our looks just to be deemed visually acceptable in society. It's true. I go get laser, I go buy makeup constantly, spend a ton of money on shaving cream and razors. I bought an epilator, which is a very cheap one, and it's very painful, and it only ends up making my legs look disgusting. Anyway, if a man doesn't shave and pluck his eyebrows, no one notices or comments, and it's nothing out of the ordinary. I will say this. There are definitely people who will comment on a man's appearance, generally speaking. If they are particularly hairy or unkempt or whatever, but they don't tend to say it to the man themselves. There is this inherent expectation that if you judge a man, you do so from afar. You don't judge them to their face. Whereas, because, you know, there's the expectation that the man might honestly turn violent if you judge his appearance. He might go off at you. He might hit you. It could get bad. Whereas with women, there is this social expectation that you're allowed for some reason to comment on a woman's appearance. When no the fuck you're not, shut the fuck up, how I look is my own business. Go fuck yourself. Heard women with excessive hair has high libido. I don't know. Maybe. I'll take some Skittles. I want some Skittles. Can I have some Skittles? Can we get some Skittles in chat? I'm going to try eflornithine. We have too much executive dysfunction. What's eflornithine? Hydrochloride. Inhibitor of ornithine What does it do? To treat excessive hair growth on the face. Oh, I see. What do you mean you have too much executive dysfunction? What does that mean? I mean, I know what that means. What does that have to do with the medicine, though? Dress this way for me. You may enjoy it. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I will dress how I want to dress. Enjoy it if you want. If you don't like it, shut your face hole. It's none of your business. I dress the way I dress because I look the way I look because I want it. And you know what? Cream you can rub on your face to permanently remove facial hair. Yeah. Which I would love to. That sounds good. Oh, do you mean like the executive dysfunction being keeping up with the habit of doing it? Would that be the issue? And also, like, this kind of, in a way, not 100%, this kind of leads into this article. Miyoki Beats, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Too depressed, fatigued, etc. to actually... Yeah. I think I get what you mean. Yeah, I want permanent hair removal. I'm working on it. Laser is working slowly but surely. What did I say? When no the fuck you're not, shut the fuck up. How I look is my own business. Go fuck yourself. I sometimes say good things. There's an article here I want to talk about. This is a satire article, but this is so relatable. Trans woman desperate for someone to just feel neutral about her. Trans woman Ruby Oldorf posted a picture of herself eating a hot dog on Instagram yesterday, desperate for anyone to not have an opinion about it, sources report. It's not that I don't want people to comment on my pictures. I could just really use something in between a suburban woman scream-typing "Yas Queen" and a man calling me the T-slur, explained a tired Oldorf. Also, can we talk about that fit? I need that whole ensemble. Friends, I need that entire thing. And the hair. Like, oh my god. This aesthetic is goals. But anyway, that sweater is amazing. She looks cozy as fuck. She does. Anyway. I would just love for someone to comment on the content of the picture for once, not what they decide to believe I represent. Like, it was literally just a picture of me eating a hot dog. There's nothing repulsive or remarkable about that. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely appreciate the positive comments, but when another white woman appropriates AAVE to unsuccessfully signal that she's down with the queers on a picture of me eating a hot dog, it feels pretty dishonest. See, like, friends, folks, lovers, and others. This is what good satire is like, dude. This is what good satire looks like. Not fucking AOC got tied up in her shoelaces because she's stupid and a dumb woman and she's stupid. That's not fucking satire, you stupid cunts. This is what good satire is like. I'm reading this and I'm just saying to myself, this is actually legitimately funny. You know why it's legitimately funny? Because the content here is relatable. Yeah, we were talking about the Babylon Bee. That's what I mean. They put up an article about AOC in her fucking shoelaces. Yeah, look. Dumb AOC accidentally strangles herself tying her shoes because she is so stupid. This is the level of memeing the right attempts with their humor. This is what the right wing does for comedy. Whereas, I mean, this isn't necessarily left wing, but I mean, I suppose technically not demeaning trans women, so I guess you could say this is left-leaning satire. This is a satire article. This is the Hard Times. They're a satire website. Good trans jokes too. Cis people are so bad at them. Exactly. Jordan Rasco, who was in tonight, absolutely awesome comedian, put out a TikTok making fun of the attack helicopter joke. I'll have to find the TikTok at some point and bring it up, where she transformed into an attack helicopter to take out transphobes and TERFs and all that. And it was good. Hello, Evo. How you doing? I like, at least I know where the T-slur guy stands, she added, and to block him on all platforms. Oldorf's friend's mum and frequent Instagram commenter Brenda Mills was overcome by emotion by the photo. I just love seeing Ruby's pictures online because, hello, gorgeous, but it's also inspiring to see him come... to see him come into his own as a woman. Oh my god. This is fucking perfect. Stated in absolutely oblivious Mills. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, that's perfect. I'm just so proud to know a trans woman. It truly makes me feel like I'm doing something right. It's really true what they say. If you're gonna call yourself a liberal, you have to do the work, and I really feel like I've put in the work by tangentially knowing one trans person. I'm gonna die. Oh, fuck. This is literally how these people act. I'm remiss to admit that I've met people like this in my own day-to-day life. Is that centrist or satire? This is a joke, for the record. This is a fucking joke. For anyone who missed the beat on that one. This is humor. This is what actual, the left can't meme irony. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely, when did this become satire? The best satire, like I've said, again, if we come back to the Babylon Bee thing.
You are now one of us.
Yeah, thank you for gifting us up to Harundo. Again, we come back to the Babylon Bee thing. Dumb AOC accidentally strangles herself tying her shoes because she's so stupid. What's the joke here? Like, what's the funny, aside from, haha, that person's stupid because I politically disagree with them? What's the meme? What's the haha, Yarrow? You're gonna get me to that absurd sub goal, I swear to God. Thank you for gifting a sub to OBGN. Like, what's the joke here? What's the funny? What's the haha? Explain it to me. I could read this entire article without cracking a smile. Let's do it. We already read it on a stream recently. Washington, D.C. While taking a jog yesterday morning, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez attempted to tie her shoe. A simple thing that even a child can do, but she can't because she's so brain dumb and likes socialism. But messed it up so badly with her stupidity that she nearly strangled herself with her shoelaces. We were barely able to save her in time from her being so stupid, said a police officer at the scene. But maybe we shouldn't have saved her because she's a socialist trying to ruin the country, and she is dumb. After the police got the shoelaces off her neck, AOC said, "Duh, I like socialism," and then turned and walked into a tree. Another thing only very dumb people would do, as regular smart people know how to walk around trees and not into them. Everyone then laughed at her because she's dumb and no one likes her. What an idiot. Ah. Six sentences. Script, yeah, like human, we actually mentioned that. Scripts written by second graders. This was written by someone who didn't finish 4th grade. I liked my hair in that close up. How did my hair look? I don't mind it. It's kind of cute. Honestly, I need to work on more camera angles. We got 2 camera angles. Quite frankly, I need more camera angles. You could read it as absurd and how childish this is, but they released a video talking about the article. Oh my god, you can tell it's for. You can tell it's for conservatives. It's very, very short. Excuse me. My toddler niece makes more compelling narratives than that, and she can only make 2-word sentences. Oh, fuck. Isn't it like this trans woman desperate for someone to just feel neutral about her article? Is a legit good satire. Here's another one. Just the title alone gets me here. Opinion: the dead Kennedys are a massively underrated shirt. I don't even need to read the article. That's fucking great. The eye makeup, thank you. Can we talk about the flame palette that I'm using, which is by like BVS, I think. Is that what it is? The brand that I use, BVS, for my eyeshadow palettes. I get them at Kmart. They're really cheap. This was like a $6 palette, and I've got like an orange base layer. I've got something darker on the like a darker orange on the outside. I've got red glitter across the eyelid, and then we got gold on the insides. We'll do a get ready with me stream soon. Promise. Like, bet. 200. Bet. We'll fucking do it. We'll do a get ready with me stream. Which is realistically only going to be like 15 minutes. 15, 20 minutes to do my makeup. I don't do anything too heavy. But I wouldn't mind doing some makeup streams. Experimenting a bit. Yeah, I like putting something glittery on the inside of my eyes. I just like that area particularly pops to me, and like sometimes on my cheeks. I tend to do like blush along here and on my nose. Opens up the face. It does. Like I used to put concealer in here. At the moment, I've just got highlighter under my eyes, and I got it in my eye when I was prepping today. I got the brush. I jabbed myself in the eye with it as I was putting highlighter on. But yeah, I did used to actually do concealer under here. I've just been forgetting to do it. Been really bad with doing that lately. The touch of glitter is always nice. I want to do something obscene soon. I want to have like, I want to do my usual blush thing, but I want to put something across this area. Like some kind of heavy glittery look. I don't know. Blush on the nose? Yeah, quite frankly, I picked this up from Rotten Pappy, who always does this. Her Instagram, because she looks very much like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Her Instagram name is Mary Elizabeth Wanstead. She does this. And there's a lot of looks where she's done this much heavier. But she tends to do heavy blush on the cheeks and then on the nose. And it looks really, like, it would look better if I wasn't in this sort of mood lighting, I think. Yeah, her hair looks gorgeous. Absolute fucking queen. Go follow her. I'm a Twitch partner. Please watch. That's a YouTube link. Pappy, that's a YouTube link. Anyway, she's great. Bring the blush lower and into the face can drag it down. By blushing the cheekbones and bringing it up to the temple. Yeah. I think I used to be doing that, actually. I was doing it up around here and down here. I might have to do that again. Sometimes when you close your eyes, you still see big head, little legs, Pappy. Oh my god, you've only been following for just under 3 weeks. Goodness gracious. Alright. We're at the tail end of stream. We're like at the very tail end of stream. I wanted to come back to this article really quickly. Because this is something like, again, I've been on a bit of a, I will freely say this right now. I've been on a very much a break from gaming.
You are now one of us.
Yeah, Ro, thank you for gifting a sub to Badger. 69 gift subs. Can we get some nice in the chat? That says, can we get some nice in the chat? Like, space it out. It's got to be like this. Give me some of these. N space I space C space E. Give me some nice. 69th gift sub. Thank you, Yarrow. And it's 169 too. Look at that. Unless that has to update to 170. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this because it's quite ridiculous. I don't play games much. I will admit I don't play games much, especially Nintendo games. And honestly, one of the reasons that I don't play many Nintendo games, and I've bought fucking Skyrim and Minecraft on my Switch, which was a dumb idea because I own both of those already across multiple systems. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, I'm sorry. At any rate, let's move on from that. I have a Switch. I don't play many games on it. Most of the time it's just my kids playing it. I've got I've got 3 Mario games, Minecraft and Skyrim. And I want to play Nintendo's exclusive titles. Like Mario Odyssey is very good. I quite liked that. I played through the whole thing. But generally speaking, I haven't played Breath of the Wild. I haven't played... What else is exclusive to Nintendo? Let me have a look really quickly. Nintendo Switch only games. Let me just find like the main ones, right? I want to play Bayonetta 2, which was on Wii U, I think, but I didn't have one of those. And I want to play, Animal Crossing. I want to play Bayonetta 3 when that comes out. Let me have a look through here. Legend of Zelda. Yeah, we talked about that. Breath of the Wild. Splatoon. Like, there are a few games on there that I'd really like to give a crack, but the main issue that I have with Nintendo Switch games is that they refuse to lower their prices at all, ever. Because Nintendo has a monopoly on Nintendo's exclusive titles, and they know that their audience desperately seeks out their exclusive titles. And thus, they never drop their pricing on them. Whereas if you go to PlayStation, you can get Spider-Man for pretty cheap now, you can get God of War for pretty cheap now, you can get Horizon pretty cheap now. But if I were to go and try to pick up a copy of Super Mario Odyssey now, it would still be full price. And... Vagabond, very good segue. Nintendo Switch games are too expensive and have every reason to be. Zelda Skyward Sword HD costs $10 more on the Nintendo Switch than it did on the Wii, and it's our own fault. With The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword launched for the Nintendo Wii back in 2011, the motion-controlled adventure was priced at $49.99. This week, Nintendo announced a remastered version of that game for the Switch, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, priced at $60, adding $1 to the price tag for every year that's passed since the original game's release. Nintendo fans everywhere let out a quiet sigh of resignation. Skyward Sword, a 10-year-old Wii game, is more expensive than when it first came out a decade ago, and it's going to stay expensive because first-party Nintendo Switch games almost never get price drops. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a port of a Nintendo Wii U game that launched in 2017, still sells for full price almost 4 years later. Mario Odyssey does too. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Party, Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Everyone dislikes this. In fact, it feels wrong. Nintendo's competitors routinely and permanently drop prices for big-budget AAA games. Like I was saying, God of War reduced, Marvel Spider-Man has been reduced. And, I mean, this comes around to the whole concept of, like, Microsoft has been shifting their whole thing in general to an entirely different strategy. Oh, hey, Fox. But good night. Have a good night. Have a good night. I'm pretty sure I did respond. But anyway, have a good night. But yeah, like Nintendo is unique in the sense that I think I don't know what it is. I'm not quite sure what it is, but we've come to this expectation now that Nintendo games are just not going to drop in price. And because Nintendo fans are so honestly rabid, Nintendo fans seem unique in the console war thing, generally speaking. They seem so unique in that whole culture, in the gaming culture, of exclusive titles and all that kind of stuff, that no matter what it is, they're going to pay full price for it no matter what. And that says to Nintendo, well, why should we bother dropping our prices if our games are so sought after? You know, if people want to buy our games at full price, we have no expectation to reduce them. And I'd like to see them reduce them, because it would make life easier for those of us who, quite frankly, I am a very patient gamer. I wait for sales most of the time. The console war ended but didn't end, but at the same time, you know, looking at it now, PlayStation is more focusing on their hardware and Microsoft is focusing on their service. Nintendo focuses on their exclusivity. You know? PlayStation focuses on system sellers, Xbox focuses on having a service across multiple systems now. Like, they're focusing on their exclusive games are coming to PC via Game Pass, rather than just, like, the Xbox itself is more of a media center, more of a, like, it's still a gaming console, but it's more of just a PC that sits in your living room. Large corporations one, true. Nintendo, a lot of expensive AAA are highly mediocre. I mean, you're not wrong. They are system sellers because they look nice, but Nintendo does tend to knock it out of the park. They are fairly unique. Anyway, Nintendo isn't being unfair, it's just following our lead, because as much as we'd like to pay less for Nintendo Switch versions of reissued Wii U games, we don't. We pay full price and continue to pay full price no matter how old the games are. This harkens back to the situation with Animal Crossing. When Animal Crossing New Horizons released, and it's still the case now, the save system is built in such a way that you only get one island, like as in one save file per Nintendo Switch. So you buy a copy of Animal Crossing and you will get one person, one account on the Switch will be able to make and control the island. Generally speaking, they'll be able to make all of the significant decisions. I'm out of water again. You get one droplet. Anyway, they will, one person will actually get to play the game, and every other account on the system just gets to visit, basically. They get to do whatever a visitor does. Hang on. I'm working on it. Blah, 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 blah. Anywho's. Next, I should have brought 2 cups. I don't have any mods that hang around this late. It's fucking shit, dude. Everyone goes to bed. Stop going to bed, you losers. Oh, hang on. There's Soul Reaper. But yeah, like, this is the problem that I had with Animal Crossing is, and Evo, hello. Yeah, the problem I had with Animal Crossing is that, there's only that one save file. Every other account can only access that island as a guest. So, essentially, you can't buy Animal Crossing and let your kids, like, if you've got 2 or 3 kids that all want to play their own Animal Crossing save files, you're not allowed to. You have to buy your own Nintendo Switches for them. You have to spend even more money to just play one to just let your kids play the one game, whereas if it was any other game, they'd be able to have their own save file, save their own progress. And the way that it's set out that way is not by accident. Nintendo explicitly knew, going into developing Animal Crossing, that all they had to do was produce a game that a lot of people wanted to play, especially during a pandemic. I mean, Animal Crossing was in development for far longer than COVID has been around, but they knocked it out of the park with the fact that, the pandemic was on, and they had the game set up in such a way that, you needed more than one copy of the game, which needs more than one copy of the system, in order to have multiple family members have their own save files. And because Nintendo knew we were going to go out and buy new Switches and buy new copies of the game, they had no reason to shift their sales method. Like, Switches were selling out because people wanted to play Animal Crossing. You couldn't buy new Switches. They were out of stock everywhere. You couldn't buy copies of Animal Crossing. They were out of stock everywhere. The game was so crucial to Nintendo's profit margins, and they see that over and over again with all of their games, and they see no reason to change it. Get some Perth mods. Well, can I mod you, Sloth? Am I allowed to do that? Playing Undermine, you got the part where you need to choose levers. Choose a number from 1 to 3, 2. Midday or something. 8 a.m. on the US East Coast. There we go. You are now a moderator. Oh, excuse me. Took you something like 5 months to get a full Switch. And that reminds me of the case with Jim Sterling trying to get a PlayStation 5. They had to keep going around to numerous different sites, and I think it was a friend. One. It was a friend of theirs that actually finally managed to help them get a PS5. And quite frankly, like, I have no interest in getting a PS5 for the foreseeable future, given that scalpers are still routinely able to snatch them up. And people are paying for them. This is the thing that really fucking sucks about this whole thing. This is honestly absurd. Honestly fucking absurd. One blew up everything. Yay! As usual, math and economics ruins everything. According to Nintendo's latest fiscal earnings report, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold over 33 million copies since launch, earning Nintendo a potentially staggering windfall, and the game is still a top seller. It's still the 5th best-selling game on the Nintendo Switch eShop, and to this day is Amazon's 9th best-selling Nintendo Switch game. To put that in perspective, one of the PlayStation 4's best-selling games, God of War, sold an estimated 12 million copies by June 2019, and is Amazon's 23rd best-selling PS4 game. I've heard good things about that God of War sequel, God of War 4, basically. I should give that a go at some point. PlayStation had to cut its price to keep buyers interested in Kratos. Meanwhile, I keep saying Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been selling in record numbers at full price since launch. Nintendo games are expensive. Everyone hates it, and yet Nintendo has no reason to drop prices. It's selling more copies of its games than its competitors and making more money on each copy sold. Mario Kart. Is that Mario's cousin? Has anyone, here's a question for you folks. Has anyone ever had the situation where you have the same name as a cousin? I'm looking at the wrong camera. Has anyone ever had the situation where you have the same first name as a cousin? I have to think this absolutely does happen. Mario Kart is Femboy Mario. Look at the right camera, Abigail. Thank God, no. Yeah, it will be very confusing. Like when your parents ask if you play the Pokemans. Well, no, I don't, because Nintendo keeps their prices incredibly high and it's annoying. So I can't play the Pokemans. Camera gag. I want more cameras. I can't even get more cameras. They're all sold out everywhere. Like Nintendo Switches. Or PlayStation 5s, because they've all been bought up by scalpers. Or the prices of cameras are so obscene because of all the people needing fucking cameras for Zoom. The pandemics. And for better or worse, Nintendo fans have gotten used to expensive games. On social media, we bitterly joke about the Switch tax that prices modern ports of older games at a premium. We often try to rationalize those higher prices. Sure, Doom 2016 and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt cost more on Switch, but developers had to rebuild and optimize those games to work on Nintendo's lower-powered hardware. Sometimes we have to rationalize harder. Final Fantasy XX2 HD Remaster costs less than $30 on Steam and PS4. The $20 price hike to $49.99 is the devil's deal we make to play it on a portable platform. That is not a justification. I get this person is making the argument that these are bad ideas. But for fuck's sake. I hate these excuses that they're making. Nintendo has cultivated an expectation of expensive games. And even though we don't like it, we have come to accept it. Consumers have spoken with their wallets, and Nintendo has heard us loud and clear. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is worth $59.99, despite it being a port of a decade-old Wii game that originally sold for $10 less. It feels wrong, like Nintendo is being unfair, but the data doesn't lie. We're going to buy it anyway, and once again, Nintendo will print money. It's also worth noting, I forget who it was that brought up inflation. Yeah, inflation has happened, but the reality of the situation is we've recently had the remasters or the HD remakes of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, Crash Team Racing, probably other games I'm forgetting right now that were all priced at least in US markets, at $40. Contrast that with Final Fantasy X HD. Like, we have had these games, these re-releases, these remakes of these games that came out however like 20 fucking years ago. Full-blown remakes in incredible graphical detail. The mechanics feel more fluid and all of like really, really good, genuinely. Resident Evil 2 and 3, for example. Really good remakes that are priced lower than any of these kind of remakes. HD remasters. This isn't even, as far as I know, this isn't even an actual remake, is it? Is it an actual remake? Upcoming high definition remaster. That honestly makes it worse. If it's just a remaster, if it's just an upscaling, and it just looks a little bit nicer because, you know, resolution upscaled, texture upscaled, that's bullshit, quite frankly. You know, that's complete bullshit to charge full price for a remaster. They don't deserve it. It's fucking absurd. I hate it. Whereas, again, Spyro, Crash, Tony Hawk, all completely remade from the ground up. And they're incredible remakes, they're incredibly faithful, and they are charged less than... They're 2/3 of full price. Skyward Sword just changed the controls to the thumbsticks from the Wiimote, yeah. In addition to higher resolution graphics, the game will now play at 60 frames per second. This is not worth it. Mario All-Stars, again, another situation. I fucking hate Nintendo, dude. I really don't like them. I am a Nintendo hater. I'm going to put this out there. I don't like Nintendo. I don't like the way they do business. They are explicitly as anti-consumer as they can possibly be. They are as anti-the gamer as they can possibly be. My amazing trans pride ring, which I left in the fucking kitchen for the record. Not on my finger where it should be. But yeah, like the Mario 3D All-Stars, where they released those three, what was it, Mario 64... I forget. They released those Mario games, and they released them as a limited time release. They'll be gone in March. You won't be able to buy them anymore come March. I think it's March. And they're just literally the same game. There's no changes made to them. There's no improvement made to them. They're not, like Mario 64 is not even in 16:9 resolution. It's ridiculous. It's honestly insulting. The behavior that, Nintendo constantly displays is insulting. And yeah, like, quite frankly, Yarrow, you're not wrong. They do make very good games. They do make very enjoyable games, but I just hate their business practices. And that's what deters me from buying new games for my Switch. Like, I just don't want to put up with their bullshit. Which, yeah, sucks because I would like to play those games at the same time. But they price me out of the market. There's that fucking stain on my shirt again. Ugh. Shots fired, at any rate. It's midnight. Here in the Rogue Room, folks. Nintendo makes you cry. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. They shouldn't make you cry. They shouldn't make anyone cry. They shouldn't make anyone cry. They should not. At any rate, let me think for a sec. What have you... Bastille teas. What's Bastille teas? I think Call of Duty is an example of charging tons of money and pumping out as many games as possible for variations on a theme. True. Asian businesses are fucking ruthless. You're not wrong. That's true. Let me think here for a moment. Let me have a look here for a moment. Nintendo will wait years until they have something truly new to offer. Yeah, that's true, I suppose. Welcome to the Rogue Room. Eris on Discord. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. As we wrap up, we're going to be finding someone to raid in a moment. Because been about, what, 3.5 hours? Yeah, thereabouts. And I'm looking at my followed list right now, and I'm just like, who can we raid? I don't want to raid up too high. Who is this person? They're not there. Oh, hang on. They are there, but their camera is focused on their rabbit. Okay. Dead Cat? Didn't we do Dead Cat recently? 200.
Raid Shadow Legend.
Thank you for the 200 Raid Shadow Legends bits. Yarrow, thank you so kindly. I don't want to, like, I've been trying to distance myself from raiding the same few people over and over again. I'm trying to raid as many different people as I can. Fucking Raid Shadow Legends, man. Jesus Christ. Why did I put myself through that torture? I can't imagine. Why did I do that? Well, Emmy was here tonight. I think we raided her a little bit recently. I can't recall, but, you know. It was long enough ago. There was someone I wanted to raid tonight, but I don't think they're live. Doesn't look like they're live. And I would like to raid, like, Excessive Profanity or Lance McDonald. Hex is playing Final Fantasy. Oh, no, she's not. She's hosting someone. Is Soldier Boy still streaming? He is. Soldier Boy's still streaming. I'm not going to raid Soldier Boy. For the record. I'm not going to raid Soldier Boy. No. Let me think here. It's a shame that Hex is no longer streaming because I could have raided her. Do you want to... Can we raid... Tell him to knock off the console shit. Can we raid Lance McDonald?
Another round on you.
Lele, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you so kindly. Do you feel like watching Lance McDonald play Dark Souls 2? For those of you who don't know, Lance McDonald is an Australian Souls creator who does some incredible Souls and Bloodborne content. BBC World Service. Depends on what you want. Like, Emmy is doing some crafting at the moment. I'm trying to think who else. We were just talking about Mario Kart, and ASAP Joey is playing some Mario Kart 8 if you want to go watch some. Soulsborne. How do we do this? Let's do it this way. I'll put it to a poll. Jamrock, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. And let me just quickly look. No, I don't want to rate someone playing The Last of Us. I would feel weird rating someone who is playing a story-driven game. Let me think. There we go. Well, which is kind of weird because we did raid Ruthie, like, was it last night or the night before? No, was it the night before? Who was playing, what's it? They're playing it now. The fuck's it called? Beyond Two Souls. Anyway, welcome in. We're about to head off to someone. As soon as we have the poll results, what do you want to watch? Do you want to watch some Dark Souls 2? Do you want to watch some Mario Kart 8? Or do you want to watch some crafting? I want you to decide where the raid goes, friendos. I don't want to be in control. Just catching the very tail end of stream. I will be live tomorrow night. We'll talk about some news. We'll talk about some stuff. I'll try to find some more interesting gaming news. And we'll try not to get hung up on the Glinner thing again. Oh, Dark Souls 2 is pulling ahead. If it entices you, Lance is doing the DLC of Dark Souls 2, which is quite frankly the best content that From Software put out for Dark Souls 2. So, if that helps in any way, shape, or form.
Another round.
420 bits! If only I actually blazed it. And 69 bits. Yara, thank you so kindly. Oh, that makes. And for all the gift subs and everything tonight. Thank you everyone for hanging out. It's been really fun. It's been lovely. You've been lovely. Tomorrow we'll do something. We did try to dip into a mental health stream recently, and we haven't done it yet. I've been meaning to do an autism stream, a mental health stream, and we just haven't properly done it. Aussies do sound great, don't we? We sound amazing. We do sound amazing. We have very good accents. We were talking about Australian accents before, actually. Please explain. That's quite frankly one of the most irritating accents. But Aussies to Aussies. It looks like Dark Souls 2 is going to pull through the win. Alright. We're going to raid Lance McDonald, which feels a bit redundant because, you know, I'd be raiding someone who has got 300 viewers, 300 something viewers at the moment, but you know what? We're going to raid Lance McDonald anyway. That extending thinking about Glinner, it's honestly just bizarre. His whole thing is just really bizarre. But thank you everybody for hanging out. Stick around for the raid if you want to watch some Dark Souls 2, and I will, I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Here's some socials, some specials. Here's some socials for you. Check out especially my YouTube if you want to watch my YouTube videos. We'll probably honestly make some kind of video on either the Glinner situation, the Nintendo situation, or something like that. Yarrow, thank you for the 10 bits to round off the night. And I don't have anything else to say. I'm like completely, I'm exhausted. There's nothing, it's all gone. There's nothing left. It's all of the words that I had for the entire day, except for my arm is fucking aching. Jesus Christ. Yarrow, thank you for the 77 bits. Ow! Send help. My arm is in pain. Have a good night, folks. I'll see you when I'm looking at you.